Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bad Takes. Shouting loud, no time for breaks. Feel the fire, the pulse, the stakes. This is where the world shakes. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Bad Takes.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 6 of the Mid-Atlantic Bad Takes podcast. We'll be talking some DC sports today, reviewing the Commanders draft and current state of Nats baseball with Chris, and we'll also have Brady be joining us to talk some O's baseball afterwards. But first, Chris is joining us now, talk some Commanders and Nats.
Hello.
So we'll start with the Commanders in the draft. I mean, you like the Sonny Styles pick? That seemed like a pretty solid pick.
All of the DMV likes the Sonny Styles pick. I mean, this is a guy who was projected to go in the top 5. We got him at 7. Was projected to be, one of the top players in the draft. Some people had him as like the top non-quarterback pick in the draft. He's a dynamic player, incredible character, interesting story. He's a top high school recruit for safety, played 2 years at safety for Ohio State, gets moved over to become a linebacker voluntarily, and then continues to play at an elite level at his new position. I mean, so that's remarkable. He's an exciting player. I think he's going to be an impact player in the defense, and I'm really excited to see what he does.
I mean, it's a good pick considering what they did in free agency, because free agency was literally just rebuilding the defense. Yeah. So if you plop an elite player like that, hopefully in his first year, he can be a stud. That helps a ton. Now, aside from the Sonny Styles pick, it was, I mean, just on paper, it's a balanced draft just based on drafting offensive and defensive players. You got a center out of Michigan State. Mm-hmm. And Golden, so I mean, hopefully that helps the offensive line, especially. I mean, center seems to get neglected a lot, but it's a very important position because, I mean, center is the one controlling that ball before it goes to the quarterback. So I mean, the false start all depends on the center.
It's extremely important. Yeah, I mean, he sets the tempo of the offensive line. He's got to actually. I mean, this it sounds silly to even say this, but it's true. He's got to put the ball in the quarterback's hand. And if you've seen a team with a bad center, you've seen them lose plays by bad snaps. I mean, you can kill an entire drive with a single bad snap. So having a center who knows what they're doing is important.
Yeah. And you drafted a wide receiver out of Wisconsin. And I know now you also signed a ton of receivers that were undrafted, so it does send the message that I think the weak spot for the Commanders is going to be the receiving core. I mean, You got T-Mac. T-Mac's always good, but after T-Mac, I mean, you signed Van Jefferson, but Van Jefferson doesn't jump out on paper as a true, like, solid number 2 option, because if I was coordinating against the Commanders, I'd just be like, let's just double team T-Mac and make someone else beat us at this point. And do you really trust Van Jefferson to be that guy to beat you in the game scenarios? So It just seems like, but I mean, I liked a lot of what the Commanders have done with the free agent signings. I mean, Sonny Styles added into that, but it just seems like the receiving core is going to be a weak spot. So how do you see the offensive side of this playing out? Because that seems to be like a lot of where the holes might be.
Well, I mean, we picked Antonio Williams with our 3rd round pick. So we didn't have a 2nd round pick, brought him in on the 3rd round. He's got a little bit of a smaller frame. He's been getting some hate for that, definitely from Commanders Nation. He's only 5'11", so he's a little bit taller than I am, which is, he's not huge. And I know that when you're looking at NFL wide receivers, there's always that temptation. You want the really tall guy. He's going to catch the deep ball, and he's going to be able to bring down the 50-50 ball and make those incredible long throws. But I mean, what I'm hearing about Antonio Williams is that he's a slot guy, and that he's a very technical route runner. And I think that will play well with Jaden Daniels' style. So, I mean, he's a rookie. We'll see if he's this sort of guy you can just plug in there, or if he needs some time some seasoning. But he could be a dude. Like, he could be a guy. Now, I don't know if he's going to be, an NFL star, but I think he's going to be an NFL starter. And we'll have to see. But yeah, I think he's probably going to make the offense better. But you're right. I think the defense was the focus of this draft. I think that we took a running back in the 6th round, Katron Allen out of Penn State. And then we took a quarterback in the 7th round, a flyer on Athan Kaliakmanis out of Rutgers. I think I got that right.
I'm just gonna say this. It's drafting the Rutgers quarterback. I don't know.
We got the Rutgers guy. Yeah.
I mean, for people that watch college football, Rutgers has been an awful program. Now, I mean, being a Maryland fan, I can't say much because I mean, Rutgers beat Maryland. Maryland's been awful. Mike Loxley needs to be fired at this point. It's like Rutgers is a school you tend to stay away from. Like Ray Rice is the only name I know of NFL. Like people from Rutgers.
Well, I think even when we drafted this guy, the book on him was that this was a QB2 at ceiling. This is a backup, and that's okay. I mean, Marcus Mariota is getting older, and eventually we're going to have to move to another backup. I mean, he's been such a good backup for the team. He's been a guy who could just come in and keep the offense going and play in a similar style. So, it's not a bad idea to, but I think what you're getting at earlier, and in terms of and with the Sonny Styles pick, I think this is about not just setting us up for next season, but setting us up for the next era, right? Because we've had our true playmakers on the defense, they're gone now, and Sonny Styles is brought in to be the new defense captain, basically. And, maybe that means that this season is a matter of, trying some of these undrafted receivers, trying some of these, see if Antonio Williams can be a good enough route runner to overcome his size limitations. Maybe this is a case where we're going to see what we've got, and then next season is when we truly focus on bringing in another playmaker to complement Scary Terry.
Yeah, but I mean, there could be a ton of upside with these undrafted free agents you signed. You got Jaden Bradley at UNLV as a receiver. You also got Chris Hilton Jr. at LSU. You got a tight end and Quentin Moore out of Washington. Another running back and Robert Henry Jr. out of UTSA. So I mean, there's definitely some. You could definitely see one of those guys probably making the roster.
Absolutely,
I would say.
Yeah. I mean, even if they're like the fourth in the depth chart, I mean, I think the odds are pretty good. You got to give them a shot and see what they can add, and and then maybe you get a usable player out of that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that Sonny Styles pick. I mean, I think that fixes the middle level of defense because you got Oweh now in the front end that can rush the passer, and I think Oweh proved if the coach and the system fits him right, he can be a game wrecker. Because you saw when he went from the Ravens to the Chargers, he became a game wrecker for the Chargers.
Yeah.
So if he's if Dan Campbell can keep that going for him, that's going to be, it's going to be awesome. And then, I mean, the second level, you got Styles. Third level is where it gets a little tricky. Because you got Amik Robertson you signed for 2 years to be a cornerback. You also signed Witherspoon, but he's more of a death piece and an insurance in case someone goes down. So is there anyone kind of on that back level that you put a lot of trust in?
I think we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I hear about Sonny Styles is that because he started as a safety and he played as a safety, that his coverage is much better than an average linebacker. So I think he should provide some level of bonus pass protection, at least for the short stuff. But yeah, I mean the third level has been a long-term area of challenge for the Commanders defense. I don't think that's a hot take. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and Grayland retracted his bad take. He's all in on the Eagles.
Oh no.
He's all in on the Eagles, but I think the Commanders have done a lot. I don't think they rebuilt. I think they retooled
Mm-hmm.
because the defense got younger. It was older defense the past couple seasons, got younger, and the free agents you signed are in the prime of their careers with experience. It's not like you're bringing in new faces from the draft minus Sonny Styles. So at least Sonny Styles has people there that can help. Now,
Yeah.
I mean, possibly would have been nice if Bobby Wagner could mentor him for a season. Do you think that'd be something that would be nice?
It would be nice. It would be nice. My understanding is that the door is not completely closed on a Bobby Wagner reunion at some point, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I mean, yeah, because if you're resigning him, it doesn't matter if you resign him after July 1st or not because he was with the Commanders. But yeah, it's definitely. I think the Commanders are going to be a very interesting team this season to look at.
I think we've been interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Jaden Daniels getting hurt really kind of hurt last season, but
yeah,
if he's healthy and the O line improves and can keep him upright, and if you're able to find another receiving option besides Scary Terry, it's definitely an interesting team that I can. I mean, they shocked the world when they went to the NFC Championship. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card.
When you have good coaching and an elite quarterback, anything is possible. And one other thing I'll add is that if we get halfway into the season, JD5 is healthy, right? Jaden stays healthy, and we're playing good football, but there's a clear area of need. Like, for instance, the cornerback position, it continues to be a problem, right? Or, this front office is aggressive enough to go out and make a trade and acquire a player. And they've shown that in the past, right? They showed that in the playoff run by going out and getting Lattimore. So I think that's on the table, but we'll have to see. And this is also assuming that Sonny Styles hits the ground running. I think he'll be good, but I think it'll take some time to adjust to the NFL. He's only been a linebacker for 2 years, so maybe he's still got some skill that he can build at that position before he really hits his ceiling. But yeah, I think we're going to be frisky.
Yeah, well, that's why I actually supported Bobby Wagner signing, just because I mean, I saw it with the Ravens, when we got Roquan Smith, Patrick Queen had all the talent in the world, but it was very erratic because no one was there to teach him like what to do on the field. Roquan comes over, and that's the best linebacker duo in the entire league because Roquan's able to direct the traffic.
Yeah.
And PQ's more freed up to, right? Because Roquan's directing everything. PQ can now focus on doing what he wants to do. And I think that's something where, if Wagner comes back, I think that's something that can help Sonny Styles tremendously, where Sonny Styles doesn't have to focus on being the leader of the defense and directing traffic. He can just be Sonny Styles because Bobby Wagner's there to handle that part.
And I think Bobby Wagner has a reputation for being that guy, for being that teacher, that leader. And I mean, he's been that guy. So yeah, I mean, it would make a certain amount of sense.
Because I mean, if you have those two guys in the middle of the field, I mean, Commander's defense looks pretty good at that point. And
we've had we've had some pretty good buzz about our defense for a few years now, and it seems to wear off pretty quickly once week 1 happens. But maybe this season we turn things around. Younger players. The other thing about younger players too is that they're developing as they play, And so you could see an improvement over the course of the season, which wasn't really the case when you've got aging players who you kind of know what you're getting with them. And, if they're not gelling week 1, the chances of them gelling week 8 or week 9 are a lot lower than with a younger player who's like, oh no, they figured something out. Maybe Sonny Styles comes in and makes a few mistakes in the first few weeks and then, turns the gas on, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy's a monster. Like, why did everybody else let him go number 7?
Yeah, and I think Joshua Joseph's in that 5th round pick. I think that's a sneaky good pick because Penn State develops pass rushers. They know how to develop pass rushers, so I think that's a really sneaky good pick.
I think he's out of Tennessee, but I've heard some good buzz about him. I've heard some good buzz about him, or maybe my list is wrong.
He might have been. Man. He might have been Tennessee. Or transferred to Penn State. Let me see. Oh, my list was wrong. Tennessee. Yep.
Yeah. Well. All right. That's the last time I'm gonna look smart talking football.
I know. Yeah. Dude, I was researching. I was on Google researching this, and it said Penn State.
Well, regardless of where he's from, you're not the first person who's called him a sneaky good pick. I think Josephs could be a guy. He could be a dude. But yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have a lot more information once preseason starts. And, it's always hard at this point in the off season because you've got some exciting names, you've got some transactions, but it's like, who's going to show up? Who's going to show up to camp and stand out? Especially when we're talking about the UDFA players, the preseason is going to tell us so much about these guys. And yeah, sometimes you'll have a player who looks incredible during preseason and then gets signed and falls off a cliff. That happens sometimes, especially with the UDFA guys, but sometimes not. I think the draft, the NFL is really good at recognizing elite athletes, right? They're good at recognizing the top round picks, the first round, the second round, the third round. After that, they really start to fall off because you can have serious playmakers in the 4th round and the 5th round. What was Puka? He's like a 5th round pick, Puka Nacua.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like their ability to measure the second tier is poor. And especially if they don't go to like one of the very, very tippy top college organizations, college teams. So yeah, we'll have to see. But we'll be frisky. I think I'm sticking with my 8-9 or 9-8 prediction. But I think it'll be an 8-9 or a 9-8 record with some big wins over good teams and with a lot to look forward to next season.
Yeah. No. And I think the Commanders have definitely gotten with this new ownership better at drafting.
Yes.
Because you see the same teams in the top of the draft all the time, and they just cannot figure it out to save their lives. Everyone else can figure it out for them, but it's their inability to actually pick a lane and stick with it. Mostly, the Browns are just golly day. It's just you have Baker Mayfield in the organization, and you're just like, we're going to get the Deshaun Watson instead.
The thing that really made me stare at the ceiling for a little bit and just because I didn't have a way to respond to it. The Bengals, right? Like the Bengals, the book on the Bengals, the conventional wisdom of the Bengals is that this is a team that neglects their defense. They have elite offensive players, right? They have an elite quarterback. They've consistently had both of those things for years and years. So it would make sense, right, that they neglect their defense. If you look at who they draft year to year, they have drafted so many defensive players. They have spent so many top draft picks on defensive players, and look what they have to show for it. So, yeah drafting matters.
It matters, but it's also it's really like the coaching staff and the front office need to be on the same page.
Yes.
Of this is the system we have in place. Because the Browns messed that up. Stefanski and Deshaun Watson never clicked, right? Stefanski's system's this, Deshaun plays this way. And it's one of those things where, like you got rid of your offensive coordinator because it just wasn't fitting with Jaden Daniels, right?
Yeah.
So at least you've recognized it and you're not letting it like continue, which might have happened in the past. So
Dan Quinn is a good football coach. He has the respect of the locker room. He has the respect of the NFL. I trust him. I think the players trust him. And I think that matters so much. And, Kevin Stefanski, the Browns situation is just embarrassing. The whole thing is embarrassing. That team has been embarrassing for so long that I can't remember a time when the Browns weren't an embarrassing team. And I think they're fit. I'm not even trying to throw shade at their fans because they have been through so much that, I think they'd probably agree with me at this point. In terms of the Browns, in terms of Stefanski and Watson not being on the same page, that's definitely what Watson's people are putting out there. That's definitely what the Watson camp is saying. Is like, oh yeah, Stefanski didn't know how to use him. Deshaun Watson hasn't played good football in years. Years. He has not been effective. He's also been, by credible accounts, somebody who's been a bad person off the field. So, I think that, they're going to put him in the quarterback competition and they're going to see what happens. Because, I guess it makes sense when you're paying him that much money. But I think it was a huge mistake to sell your team's future to bring that guy in. I think he hasn't worked out. And I think he has been a major contributor to the Browns continuing to just be a disaster. So if they can, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he comes in the preseason and he plays hard, but probably not. Probably he's gonna be bad, and they're just gonna continue being a joke, and they can finally get his contract off the books, and maybe thinking about becoming a respectable football organization.
I mean, as a Ravens fan, if that Watson deal never happens and Mayfield is still there, Browns could be scary because that defense is a legit best defense in the NFL.
They are very good.
Like they only give up 12 to 15 points a game.
And I think it says so much that they have consistently had this really good defense and they're still just a joke organization. I think it's that they just still have no respect despite having this just incredible, staunch, well-coached, well-staffed defense, bringing in good personnel, bringing in playmakers. I mean, it says everything you need to know about how bad the Deshaun Watson situation has been.
I mean, and it's just crazy because when you look back at that the 2000 Ravens team, same type of defense, only giving up 12 points a game. The offense was terrible. Like we only kicked field goals for 5 straight weeks, couldn't score a touchdown, and but we won games. That was the difference. Yep. Like at least we could get in Matt Stover range with the offense. It's like the Browns can't even do that. Like just getting the field goal range.
When your defense is that good, you can get away with nonsense. You can get away with a backup quarterback. You can get away with a running only offense, right? But they seem to not be able to figure it out.
And that's literally what the Ravens were in 2000 was just run. It was Jamal Lewis. If Jamal Lewis is on, we rode Jamal Lewis. That's really what it was. And I mean, Ray Lewis said it best. He told Trent Dilfer, he's like, just give me 1 touchdown and 2 field goals and we'll win you the game. Like that's it. Like, that's all he needed. He's like, you do that, we'll win you the game. And that's literally all it was. Golly day. But it must be at least now you can breathe because the Commanders are out of that type of conversation like the Browns are in, and at least seem respectable now and can go somewhere.
We are absolutely respectable. We have a good coach. We have a good quarterback. We have some good personnel. Yeah. I think the thing, look, when I say 8-9, 9-8, that's not me dissing my own team, right? Because
Yeah.
from where the Commanders have been for so long, to be able to consistently compete, to consistently look like at least a 500 team, that's something. That's a huge step forward. And I think that's where we're at. And I think we're going to keep building on that. And I think at some point over the next few years, we are going to ascend out of the, oh yeah, they're pretty good, to like, oh no, they're like actually, they're contenders. They're beasts. Their window is open. They're winning playoff games. Of course they'll be in the playoffs. I think we're going to get there. We're not there yet, but I think we
Yeah.
will.
Well, I think the schedule's also in your favor because you're playing a weak schedule just based on your placement from last season. So I think that helps the cause as well. And I could definitely see the Commanders sneaking in, wild card spot, and then if Philadelphia collapses. I mean, because we still don't know what's going to happen with AJ Brown. It seems like he should be gone by now, but nobody's like moving in on him. I think
He's sticking around.
yeah, I just think he's toxic at this point. It feels like, and it's like the Eagles are going to have to release him because nobody wants to take on that money
Yeah.
and that cap hit just to trade for him and give up something of value.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, even last year, like, yes, he was not the same player, but he was at times, right? I mean, there's still talent there. And then you've got to think about the fans. I mean, how are they going to feel about it? When you have a team that's getting to the end of their window, I mean, this is what it looks like when their window is starting. I'm not saying the window's closed yet. I think the Eagles will still be pretty good, but I think they are getting to the end of this hot streak, this run that they've been on for X number of years, and maybe they can open it again with different personnel. I mean, obviously Jalen Hurts is going to stick around. That guy's good at football. But yeah, I mean, collapse is a good word because it could happen. It could happen. Jalen Hurts gets injured, things get nasty, locker room leaks. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible. Like maybe the team falls apart. It's
Well,
I
and the
think
Philly
having AJ
media is
Brown. Well, the Philly media is like sharks
they've
in the
been
water.
brutal.
As soon as
They've
they
been
get
brutal.
they're always brutal. I mean, I don't know who's harsher on their home team, the fans or the media. Like, say what you want about Philadelphia, but that city cares about its sports like few other cities do, and I kind of respect it, but it's a high pressure environment, and the collapse could be a case of they stumble several weeks in a row, and rather than picking themselves back up and finishing the season strong, the pressure from the media and the pressure from the fans could be what pulls them down into a collapse type situation.
Yeah. So, yep. Oh, I do want to get your thoughts on one thing real quick before we stop talking to man. Kirk Cousins now with the Raiders. How badly did Washington really run this dude out of town? Because I know he was franchise tagged twice and everything, and this was past ownership, and we know how toxic that past ownership was.
The last straw for me as a Commanders fan that convinced me to step away from the franchise for a few years and stop calling myself a fan for a while, and I did that. I stepped away from the franchise, and I think that's hard to admit, but I did it because it was just too toxic, and the way they treated Kirk Cousins was a big factor in that toxicity. Not that they should have signed him to a long-term deal. I think that's really important to say, because he went to Minnesota. He was not the quarterback they wanted him to be. He was not the quarterback they paid for. He was still pretty good. Like, Kirk Cousins has been pretty good for a long time. I mean, he's old now, so it's unlikely that he'll be pretty good this year. But I think he looked really bad last year. But the way they treated him was unacceptable. And what specifically was unacceptable was that they had communicated to him that they were going to sign him and that they were going to give him an extension. And then they just didn't. And when you have a guy out there and you're asking him to lead your team and to put his physical body on the line, I know this is like over dramatic, but it's true. Putting his body on the line, he could get really hurt. And you're not even going to be real with him about that. That's not an organization I want to affiliate myself with. And the fact that that was happening on top of just constant for years from the RG3 era from 2012 up until failing to give Cousins an extension. So that's 2016, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There were constant leaks from the Washington locker room, constant leaks, back and forth, players talking trash about other players. It was ugly. And it was not what a good organization does. It's exactly what's happening with the Browns right now, where you've got, Deshaun Watson's people throwing shade at Kevin Stefanski, and it's like this is gross. This is not sports. This is drama. And yeah, I mean that was the situation with Kirk Cousins. It is what it is. Dan Snyder is gone. I wish him nothing but the worst. And I will say that the new ownership has been night and day better. I think Dan Snyder was the worst owner in professional sports. I think he's a bad person. I hope that every single time that he's walking along the street and it's raining out, that a car drives by and splashes him. I hope that happens every single time that he's on the street. For the rest of his life. That's what I hope for him.
All right. Well, take a little break and we'll talk some Nats when we come back.
Sounds good.
Our Jim Palmer autograph card giveaway is still open to enter. If you have not already done so, please check out our Facebook and Instagram pages to learn how to enter for your chance to win this awesome card of the Hall of Fame 3-time World Series champion and Cy Young winner. There are multiple ways to build entries into the giveaway, so please look us up on social media for more details. Now back to some more bad takes on the Mid-Atlantic Bad Takes podcast. All right, and we're back. Chris, going to talk some Nats baseball, and I know you got a good bit to say, so here's your chance.
Yeah, the Nats are pretty good. They're pretty good. That's the leader. We're at, around 500, and we have been for a couple weeks, and we're just playing solid baseball in DC for the first time since the World Series. It's been fantastic. I don't think anybody's thinking that we're going to be like sneaking into October. I mean, I suppose it's within the realm of possibility that we have some sort of miracle wild card run, but even just playing 500 baseball, considering how bad the team has been for so long, is just really, really refreshing. It's really nice to see we have an elite offense, which nobody expected. It is top heavy. It is led by CJ Abrams and James Wood. They're both playing incredible baseball, but yeah, I mean, we're playing good baseball. Ask me anything.
I mean, 3 games back out of the last wild card spot, and I don't know if you read this article from MLB Trade Rumors about the Nationals being the top offense that they posted a few days ago. But I mean, the Nationals are scoring at a rate better than they did when they won the World Series.
Yep.
So they're at an all-time high, and it's really only 2 people leading the offense, which is crazy. It's like
Well,
two people.
it isn't. It isn't. It isn't. It's true that we're top heavy in terms of our star power, right? And if you look at the BWAR, CJ Abrams 1.9 BWAR, James Wood 1.6 BWAR, and then the highest behind them is Dalen Lyle at 1.1 BWAR. Although I will say Dalen Lyle is somebody who in the second half of last season showed he had star power, and he's been getting going, and he's somebody who I'm really high on. I think I said on a prior episode that we should extend him now. He's a dude. But what's really setting our offense apart is just incredible use of matchups and lineups from our management. This is like elite managing. That is really what is setting the offense off. Because you look at some of these guys that, like Keibert Ruiz, a catcher who has been just so disappointing. He was the only player under the last regime who actually got a long-term extension. And it's a very cheap extension. It's like $6 million a year or something. But he has just been he's been underperforming year after year. He had some injury problems. It seemed like he was on his way out. Yeah, Keibert Ruiz, that guy has a 784 OPS. He's hitting the ball with authority for the first time in a long time. And I think that's managing. I think that's coaching. He's playing with Drew Mealis, who's they're pretty much doing a 50-50 split. 32 games started for Ruiz, 33 games started for Mealis, and it's working out, at least for Ruiz. I mean, they're putting these guys in positions to succeed. Curtis Mead has also been hugely better than anybody thought. I mean, this guy, this guy out of Australia, he had played in the bigs for a couple years, hadn't really done anything. He's got an 803 OPS, and he's looking like the starting first baseman of the now, maybe the starting first baseman of the future. Now, I will say he's being platooned, so that's one of the reasons why his numbers are so good. But again, that's good managing. You're putting guys in positions where they can succeed, and there are key players on our offense who are doing that.
Yeah, and Joey too, right? I mean, he started off hot, cooled off a little bit, but I mean, still he's performing pretty good.
Joey?
Yeah, Weimer or Weimer.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Weimer, so he, if you look at his stats, he has a 912 OPS. Joey Weimer, and he started off the season red hot. One other thing that this team has been doing is that we have been moving guys up and down to AAA at a rate that has been hard to keep up with. That I have found hard to keep up with. I am a huge Nationals fan. And like the front office has specifically targeted players who have options so they can do this. And so Joey Weimer's actually at AAA right now, which seems crazy. If you look at his stats, it's like, okay, this guy has a ridiculous video game 912 OPS, 0.7 BWAR. He was being used in matchups, and he was being put into positions to succeed. Why is he at AAA? Well, we just recalled Dylan Cruz. We are bringing him back up to the majors. He's been here for about a week now. Dylan Cruz, of course, the number 2 overall draft pick, who was touted as this no weaknesses, you can stick him in the game immediately and he'll start playing well type, can't lose, prospect. Hasn't been the case at all. He played for most of last season. He looked really bad. His AAA numbers have also not been great, although they've been getting better. So he's back at the majors now. He's hit a little bit He still hasn't looked like the player that we were told he was. Not really sure what's going on. But bringing him back left us with too many outfielders, and I think that's why they sent Weimer down. I will also say Weimer has made some like baseball IQ type decisions that you know, are not what a manager or a coach wants to see, if that makes sense. He's made some outs on the base path. Our defense overall has been really poor, unfortunately. And so I think maybe this is a situation where we just have a lot of outfielders. We have a lot of talent, and we know this guy can be a contributor, but we need to get him down to AAA and work on some fundamentals.
Yeah. And looks like Jorbit's Vivas has cooled off a little bit.
Jorbit Vivas is somebody who hasn't quite been the player that we were hoping he would be. He's played in 41 games. He's got 97 at bats. He's getting a lot of at bats. He's getting some starts at third base. Going back to that point about sending guys down to AAA, of course, Brady House, who is one of our top prospects, who we were hoping would be our third baseman of the future. He was sent back down after he cooled off quite a bit at the plate, so he's at AAA now. And as a result, Jorbit Vivas has taken more starts at third base. And when we signed that guy, when we got Jorbit Vivas, I think we might have traded for him after he was cut by the Yankees.
Yeah.
The book on him was that he was a walk wizard. He had an obscene amount of walks at AAA last season. He had, let me get the stat right here. Yeah, so 2025, Scranton Wilkes-Barre, he had 64 walks in 374 at-bats compared to 45 strikeouts. So he's walking more than he struck out last year at AAA. This year, not really the same case. He only has 16 strikeouts and 97 at-bats. That's pretty good, but he only has 9 walks. So he hasn't been getting on base to the extent that we were hoping. You put that together, it's a 671 OPS, which is not terrible for a utility player, but you don't want a utility player starting every game. That's not what a utility player is for. I think he could have a future with the team as a bench player, but I think if he's starting games, that shows that something's gone wrong, and indeed it has with Brady House.
I mean, he reminds me of Hanser Alberto. So I don't know if you know the book on Hanser at all, but when the Orioles were crappy, he was one of the guys we had starting every day. And I mean, he didn't strike out a lot, but he also didn't walk a ton. He made contact a lot. And I mean, he had one stellar season with the Orioles, but you looked at everywhere else he went, he was more of a bench piece and a utility guy, but he exceeded at that role because he was just a contact guy. So when he got his chance to play one game in every series, he lit it up. So I mean, hopefully if Brady House figures it out, maybe Vivas can excel in that role where he's able to come one game every series and, go 1 for 3, 2 for 3. And
something that characterized the rebuild, the last rebuild, the failed rebuild from 2020 to 2025 was that you saw a lot of games where you had utility players who would probably be a bench player on another team taking starts. Ildemaro Vargas was a guy who was on our team for several seasons and who looked pretty good in limited time, but who got exposed when we started him over and over. And, as the utility player that he was, and as a result, you just had dead spots in the lineup. And the Nats don't have as many dead spots in the lineup, and I think that's credit to really good coaching.
Yeah, well, part of the thing is you can live with those guys if you're drafting well and you have hope for what's coming up in the future, which the Orioles at least had hope just based on who we were drafting. That it's like, these guys aren't the long-term solution.
Yes.
We don't have to say Renato Nunez is going to be our starting first baseman for the next 4 years. But you also didn't have that hope, it seemed like with the Nationals, where it's just like these are the guys we got, and we don't know what's coming up to replace them, and we don't have hope.
So we have some serious talent in terms of prospect infielders working their way through the system. When Brady House was sent down and Dylan Cruz was called up a little bit later, Seaver King was promoted from AA to AAA. He's somebody to watch. I think he's like naturally a shortstop, but when somebody's a shortstop, you can put him anywhere in the infield. He's swinging the bat well. Obviously, Eli Willits is a top 100 prospect. He's younger. He's still a little bit of ways away. But I mean, if Brady House is a bust, well, first of all, if Brady House is a bust, how many times have we talked about the Nationals drafting a player, a first-round pick who has not worked out? I mean, this has been the case since Anthony Rendon in 2013. I mean, it's embarrassing. You know, Jackson Rutledge, who was a first-round pitcher, didn't work out as a starter. I want to say like 2018 we drafted this guy. Didn't work out as a starter, got converted to a reliever. Didn't work out as a reliever. We just DFA'd him earlier in the season, and the Phillies claimed him, so he's off the team. Eric Fetty, you know, is one of the success stories. I'm using bullet points with my fingers, and he was somebody who was just not good as a National. Now he ended up going off to Korea and then having a second act where he's been a much more respectable pitcher. But I mean, you look at guys like Seth Romero, who, you know, I think he appeared at the major league level like once and then completely washed out of baseball. It's just a huge problem. How Mike Rizzo, how the old regime was drafting, that has just come up again and again and again to bite us. And if Brady House is another casualty of just poor decisions, if Dylan Cruz is another casualty of poor decision making, then, you know, it's just a huge problem. And I think that one of the things that Paul Taboni has done now that he's the president of baseball operations is he's tried to rebuild our minor league ranks a little bit by getting prospects from other people. The Mackenzie Gore trade, he got a lot of prospects. And I think that was good. And that was also necessary so that we actually have hope for the future, so that we're not just waiting for one guy, because what do you do when that one guy is a bust?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you had one thing work out, though, back during that last rebuild. Jameer Candelario. That was one thing that worked out.
Jamer Candelario was really good for like a year and has not been good since. I wish him well. But yeah, I mean, it's just scrap heap guys. We need to, if you have a player like Curtis Mead where he's young, he hasn't played a whole season in the majors, there's legitimate reason to think that this is a guy that you can bring in and who can blossom. Joey Weimer's another guy like that. I mean, guys who do not have a significant track record, people who have made appearances at the majors but not a lot. Jordan Vivas is another one. Those are the type of guys who you can take a flyer on. You're like, okay, maybe this guy, maybe we can fix him with our system. Maybe there's something that the team that he was on missed. Maybe there's a reason that was out of his control that he was only playing in 30 or 40 games in a season, and maybe we can address that by giving him more playing time. Those are the guys that you should be targeting. The guys that you should not be targeting if you want to become a good team are guys who have played year after year after year after year and been mediocre year after year after year after year. Because what evidence do you have? What possible evidence do you have that a person like that a player like that is suddenly going to become good?
Yeah.
I will say I'm not totally done on Brady House. I'm not saying he's a bust. There's things that he did that I liked. He made really poor defensive decisions, which was surprising. I don't think people expected his defense to be as bad as it was, but he swung the bat well when he hit. For whatever reason, the book on him, he can't hit fastballs. And it's strange because normally MLB players, fastballs are the thing that they can hit and they have trouble with breaking balls. With Brady House, it's the opposite. If you look at his fan graphs, the pitch that he has the most trouble hitting is a fastball, which is weird. So hopefully they can send him down to the minors. They can work on his defense. They can work on hitting fastballs. I mean, he has a 681 OPS, which is not abysmal. It's not where you need it to be, but it's close. So yeah, I mean, he could still work out. He's only 23. I mean, he seems like he has seemed like a dynamic player at times. So still hoping for the best with him.
Yeah. Well, I really think the Dylan Cruz call up is, I think, kind of what you're getting to is this is your chance to prove to us you have some potential in the long
Yeah,
term with this team and to show something, because I really think they're trying to weed out like who's just clogging up space right now more
absolutely.
than anything. Because I mean, when you're looking at this roster, I mean, Jacob Young has had a pretty decent season. I mean, he seems a little underrated.
Jacob Young is extremely underrated. Yes, he has a 654 OPS. That's not quite what you want. You need it to be a little bit higher, but you know what? For him, he's shown serious improvement. He's swinging the bat faster. He's added something like 2 miles per hour to his average bat speed. He's not getting thrown out trying to steal like he was last season. Last season, he led the league in caught stealing 11 times, which is just really bad when you have somebody who you want to be a base running threat. He also had a 583 OPS. So it's like, yeah, 654 OPS is not good, but it's a significant improvement over last year. And then you add to that the guy, I mean, Taylor, he is catching balls that nobody can catch. I mean, he is such a wizard with his glove. He is a gold glove caliber defensive player. He is dynamic in the outfield. He makes huge catches. He has a good arm. I mean, this is a guy who I want on the team. This is a guy who I have been waiting and holding my breath, hoping that he can get his average up just a little bit, just so that you can be just good enough that you can have him in the back of your order, and he won't be a dead bat. And I think he's on his way there, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, and then so with Dylan Cruz being called up, does that mean like Jose Tena's got to get off the DH spot and that you can switch Cruz and James Wood between that DH and right field? You think that is probably the scenario that has to play out to get Dylan Cruz some playing time?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be lefty righty matchups. That seems to be the number one thing that's been driving our decision making. And one thing that Butera, part of his style, is that if he does sit a player, he will pinch hit that player later. So you have guys who are essentially part-time players like Curtis Mead, not part-time but pure platooned. But Curtis Mead has played in 38 games because when he doesn't start, he gets the pinch hit, and sometimes he's come up big in those spots. Jose Tena is an interesting one because when the Nats brought in Jorbit Bibas, we thought Tena was cooked, right? We thought he was going to get, that was the end of the line for him. But he's been playing DH. He's been all right. I mean, 704 OPS is not what you want from a DH, but it's also not terrible. He's got a little bit of pop. 7 doubles, a triple, and 3 home runs in 99 at bats. I mean, there's production from him. So, I don't know if
those 13 ribbies though. I mean, you want some more at that DH spot because that's usually someone that doesn't give you that much defensive value, but offensively is someone that's a game wrecker.
I think with Tana, they like him. They want him on the roster. And DH is the spot where it makes the most sense for him, given who else we have in the field. I think in a perfect world, once you've made a decision on who the guys are and who aren't the guys, right? And you have fewer people in the mix. Payne is a guy who you want to be able to use as a utility infielder. And I know that his defense has been a bit of a question mark in the past. So I don't know if he's like a classic utility infielder, but if you have a utility infielder with positional versatility who's got a 700 OPS, there's value in that. Probably not an everyday player, but that's someone you want on the bench.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if Dylan Cruz popped off this season, then I could see James Wood being moved to DH kind of more like full time. I would say, because you don't want to lose Jacob Young in the outfield.
James Wood has been surprisingly good defensively, but he is not a defensive wizard like some of these other guys. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, It's definitely a question. But right now, Dylan Cruz is not popping off. He has not popped
Yeah.
off. He's had a couple hits that looked good, but he's 4 for 20. He had one home run, so 4 hits, 3
Yeah.
singles, and a home run, in 20 at bats. That's not immediate impact, right? That's not
Yeah.
that's not what you want. So
And
now
4
granted,
strikeouts on top of it.
and 4 strikeouts. Now granted, the last 2 games were against the Braves. They've got pretty good pitching. So that is a factor there. We played the Mets before that. They seem to have finally figured something out. And didn't look quite as bad as the last time we played them. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what we do with Dylan Cruz. I will say that if he is a bust, there needs to be a real conversation with how baseball hypes these guys up, because it seems like all of baseball got him wrong. I mean, maybe not. Maybe he turns it around, but I just really don't understand how everybody I respect in the baseball press was talking about how this guy can't miss. And he just so far has been a miss. I don't get it.
So
I don't get it.
I really think it has to do with the hype of the college program. Because guess who else was can't miss? Kamar Rocker, Jack Lightning.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
When they were at Bandy together, that 1-2 punch. I mean that now that they have made it to the bigs, they've been okay, but they haven't been that hyped lights out pitching duo
Yeah.
that everyone hyped them up to be. But I think the Nationals, with the analytics coming in, with the new front office and everything, I think you're going to see the drafting happen completely differently than you thought. Because I mean, the Orioles drafted completely differently than a lot of us thought. Like when we had the first pick, I mean, at this point, would I have liked Bobby Witt over Adley Rutschman? Yes, because I mean, those were the two.
Yeah.
But when you looked at where they were, I mean, Adley coming off that Oregon State college run, I mean, that was a can't miss prospect. Yeah. Adley's playing at an all-star level this season, so I'm not going to say it's a
Yes.
bust. I don't think Adley is a bust because we have seen how many first-rounders are busts when majority of them don't even make it to the bigs.
He's definitely not a bust.
Yeah, it is very difficult to make it to the bigs. And I think
Yes.
history has proven that doesn't matter where you get drafted. I mean, Mike Piazza was drafted in the 66th round or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Hall of Famer, right? So it is hard to make it to the bigs. I'm with you on the hype thing that it's going to easily transition with them because it's even hard to make the jump from AAA to MLB. We've seen that with a ton of prospects.
Yeah.
And I mean, to me, Adley's not a bust compared to where the Orioles were drafting with Dan Duquette, with Cody Sedlock, and all of the. I mean, the Orioles hit on some people. Kevin Gausman was a great pick. Didn't do crap with the Orioles, though. I mean, we had one good season out of Kevin Gausman. He's a great pitcher. Yeah. We have drafted some good people, but they don't. I mean, the Orioles have proven they cannot develop pitching to save their lives, and now we can't even develop bullpen pitching, which we used to be able to do under Dawson Walter and Dan Duquette. So we just can't develop pitching at all at this point. So my take is with the Orioles next draft, all pitchers, draft all pitchers. One of them's got to pop. One of them has to pop. Give yourself chances.
It's not a bad idea. I mean, you have a lot of exciting young position players, but yeah, the pitch, I mean, God, we put up 23 runs on you in 3 games. So that's an area to sorry, I misread that. It's 20 it's 19 runs. 19 runs in 3 games.
It's ridiculous. I mean, and like our good bullpen arms are starting to tire out because we use them all the freaking time. Like using Rico Garcia like every game. Cano's out there like every 2 out of 3 days. So I mean, their arms are probably already in August and September mode, about to shut down, just based on how much pitching they've had to do this
Yeah, I mean
season already.
you've got to be careful with that. I mean, one thing. I mean, I think we talked about how bad the Nationals bullpen was earlier on this show, and it's improved a lot. It's been a lot more respectable. And one thing that has made it improve is that we're doing the same send them back to AAA, bring them back up strategy that we've been doing with the position players. Like PJ Poulin is a guy who's been like our opener. I mean, we haven't used him every single time that we've used an opener, but we've used him most of the time, and he's been quite good in that role. He's been okay as a back end reliever, but he's been great as an opener. And we sent him back down to AAA for a little bit, and we just brought him back up. So yeah, I mean, sometimes that's, and I think the relievers, they know, I mean, these guys are guys that we've brought from other organizations. A lot of them are like long-term minor leaguers. They know the drill, and that's helped us keep our arms fresh because, you know, if you're just relying on the same guy and then the same guy goes down, that's a huge problem. You saw that with Derek Law. He was really good for us in 2024, but we pitched him all the time. And 2025, he missed the whole season because he was injured. And it's like, who else did we have?
So let's give a shout out to arguably the best reliever in the Nats bullpen right now, Dick Lovelady.
Oh, yes.
What a guy. What a guy.
What a find. He's been great. He's been unironically great. He's got a great name, but honestly, if I see that he's coming in, I feel a little bit better. Now, he's not like a stud, but he's good. And he's good in pressure. He pitched as an opener. He's done everything we wanted him to do. And yeah, I mean, he's been 1.76 ERA. Now, granted, it's a 4.13 FIP, so he has been benefiting from some luck there. But still, he's been solid. He's been really solid. 4 saves. Yeah, I mean, it's funny, this guy, he bounced back and forth between the Nats and the Mets before finally the Nats were like, okay, we're going to bring him back. We're actually going to start him. Pitched immediately after they signed him was bad. But then since then, he's locked in, and he's looked pretty good.
And Brad Lord is looking phenomenal as well.
Yes. Brad Lord has been excellent. He has been, and this is the sort of thing that you can do when you have depth. But that's the other thing. If you want to use this strategy where you're taxing guys back and forth, you need pitchers at the AAA level who are actually like ready to go in major league situations. And you know, having Brad Lord, who is good enough to start in our rotation and who did start for us quite a bit last season, having enough guys in our rotation that you can move him to reliever is why we're able to do that. Now, granted, our rotation sucks. So,
I mean, Foster Given started off tremendously, but these past 2 games, because I picked him up in fantasy these last 2 games, he's been god awful. But here's the thing: the strikeout numbers shot up the last 2 games.
He is a toolbox pitcher, right? He has 7 pitches that he throws consistently, like not just 7 pitches that he can throw, like 7 pitches that he will throw every time he starts. And you know, even he said he's an interesting guy. Like if you listen to interviews with him, he sounds like he's like more willing to talk about like the mechanics of baseball. He talks like a veteran, even though he has not started at the major league level until this year, because he did play in the majors. But you know, in the MPB, he was a high leverage starter, and he talks like it. And so he'll go into detail. And one of the things that he's been saying consistently is like, yeah, like one of the reasons why I'm doing so well is because the other players don't have a book on me. The other teams don't have a book on me. And so I wonder, and I hope not, I hope this is not the case, but I wonder if the reason why his last couple starts have not been good are that teams are starting to, you know, be able to use footage and identify what his different pitches are. Now, that being said, when you've got 7 pitches, you can still bamboozle the other team, even if they do have a book on you, because it's hard to prepare for 7 pitches.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the only thing I could see really hurting that situation is, one, if he's off that day with majority of those pitches and they're just not working, or he's in a pattern. And with
Yeah.
the pitching analytics now, you can pick up patterns like, okay, we see this pitch tends to be more happening in the third, fourth, and fifth inning. Like you don't see it the first 2 innings, so you don't have to look for it. But third, fourth, and fifth, you're going to see it like once in that bat or something like that.
The other thing is that when you're a toolbox pitcher, you need to be able to anticipate what the batter is expecting and what they can hit and what they can't. So you need to be able to do your homework as well. And you need to be making those decisions on, oh, I'm going to throw this pitch to this guy. I'm going to throw this pitch here. And baseball pitching at the MLB level, I mean, the margins are so thin that one bad decision can blow up your start. So I wonder if this is just a case of he made, 80 good decisions and 3 bad ones, but the 3 bad ones resulted in 5 runs, right? Like maybe that's the situation here, and maybe it'll just return to the mean, as he adjusts a little bit.
Well,
interesting guy, interesting pitcher. I said he would be good. He's pretty good. I did call it.
Now, I mean, if I'm running a club, I mean, the first thing I'm making starting pitchers do is watch Greg Maddux interviews.
Yes.
Like post-playing career. Because, I mean, I love listening to Greg Maddux. I mean, that dude just knows how to pitch. He called his own pitches.
Yes.
Like, how many pitchers do you know? Like, well, Tony was doing it with when he was with the Angels. You could see him clicking on the thing on his sleeve, calling his own pitches. But Greg Maddux was literally like, you see me do this when I catch the ball, or you see me like catch it like this, you know what's coming.
Greg Maddux had 2 things going for him. One, he's the greatest toolbox pitcher of all time, in my opinion, because he knew how to throw what pitch to what guy. 2, he has some of the best control of all time. He could put the ball exactly where it needed to be. And you combine that ability to read the batter and to know what the batter is not going to be able to get, and the ability to put a pitch right in that spot, it's just unreal.
Well, I mean, just listening to interviews where he's talking to Smoltz and he's just like, they're up by like 8 runs. So like it was like the 7th inning. He's like, I'm just gonna give up a homer here. I'm gonna throw a hanging slider. And he's like, why'd you do that? Well, because next time we face him in October, because we don't play him the rest of the year, he's gonna expect that exact same pitch. And literally 2 pitches later, got him like Bobby Cox tried to yank him, and he's like, Bobby, like, hell no. I'm pitching to this guy, and 2 pitches got him to pop out to third base. He told Chipper, he was like, Chipper, this guy's gonna pop up to you at third base. Chipper's like, how you know? He's like, oh, he's going to expect a slider that I hung on him, and he's not going to get it. I'm going to throw this instead, and he's going to pop up to you, and he pops up the Chipper down the third base line. It's just
That's
like
crazy.
Like, it's just incredible. Just like, I just don't understand. Like, if I was like running a front office, that's the dude I would bring in to talk to my pitcher.
Absolutely.
Just to like, this is how you pitch in the bigs.
It's not surprising that Foster Griffin is an interesting guy to hear in interviews, because when you are that type of pitcher, to be able to pitch well at that level, you have to have a high baseball IQ. And Greg Maddux had a very high baseball IQ.
Yeah. And crap, I don't know if you've heard of the batters talk about Randy Johnson. Now, Randy Johnson's a great pitcher, but he had to tell when the changeup was coming, because he would hang his pinky under his glove to grip his changeup. And there was like one of the guys on Sunday Night Baseball, Randy, came up to him one time and was like, how'd you like do so well off me? He's like, you had to tell. When the changeup was coming, your pinky was hanging out your glove. And if I didn't see the pinky, the fastball was coming. It was like, that IQ stuff is just crazy.
Yeah.
To me. But here's the thing. If Randy Johnson had to tell and still was that dominant, that just tells you how good Randy Johnson is as a pitcher. If you have to tell and you still can't catch up to it.
Of course you want the tell for the changeup, because that's the pitch you can hit, right? Because he's blowing a fastball by you faster than you've ever seen in your life.
Uh-oh. Maybe if that poor bird got a changeup.
Oh my gosh. Probably. Yeah. God, don't birds, don't do that. That's my PSA for birds. One last Nationals note. I know you probably want to wrap it up, but one last Nationals note. I did want to say Cionel Perez, the Orioles legend, is no longer with the team. He did not pitch well. 6.19 ERA, 1.688 WHIP in 16 innings pitched across 16 appearances. Seemed like he melted under pressure. Seemed like a head case. He got DFA'd, and he is now, I think he took a minor league deal with another team. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, Mike Elias had a hard on for that guy. I don't know why. Mike Elias got rid of a lot of other good bullpen arms, like Sean Armstrong, and decided to keep Perez over a lot of bullpen arms. And don't know why, because Perez had one good year and he melted down after like 2024.
I really do think he's a head case. I think he has good stuff. But I think that he has trouble pitching in high pressure situations. Because if you look at his spring training numbers, he was elite. He was great in spring training, and the stuff is good. I mean, but sometimes he would just come out there, and I'd be watching him, and he just looked bewildered. He looked like he was not locked in. So maybe it's not even head case. Maybe he's just like his preparation isn't right. But he's clearly got something that he needs to work on. So wish him well with another organization. Not the guy.
And shout out to Kate Cavalli. He's having a pretty good year. He's having actually a pretty good year.
Cade Cavalli is such an interesting guy, such an interesting pitcher. When he is on, he has ace stuff. He probably has the best pure, like, if you're talking like a velocity type pitcher, like a Randy Johnson type, he is the best of that we've had since the World Series. I mean, I guess you could say Strasburg started like a few times before. He couldn't in 2020, but since Strasburg, Cavalli, when he's on, but he's not consistent. He continues to struggle with consistency, and he also continues to struggle with efficiency. His WHIP is a little bit high. It's 1.435. 3.86 ERA is pretty good. I think it'll come down. He's also hit 10 batters, which I think tells me that he's got. Sometimes his control just doesn't seem right, and that's not a surprise when you've got the velocity and the presence. But I think he'll continue to improve. I would not be surprised if the Nationals signed him to an extension. He has missed so much time due to injury that I think he only has 1 year left after this, if I remember correctly.
So it would be a pretty inexpensive extension then. Yeah.
Oh no, hold on. So it's arbitration 2027, arbitration 2028, arbitration 2029, free agent 2030. So not quite as little time as I thought, but still, I mean, if you want a guy who can anchor your rotation, Cavalli is not that guy yet, but he sure seems like he will be. So,
well, I mean, even if the floor is like a starter 3, starter 4, still that's someone you want to keep around.
Yes, I like him. I think he's a competitor. I think he's hard on himself. I think he has a lot of similarities to Mackenzie Gore. I think Mackenzie Gore had some discipline and some anger issues that Cavalli doesn't have. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But I cautiously optimistic on Cavalli.
Well, I mean, I think now would probably be the time to extend James Wood as well.
You know,
try to get him while he's a little cheaper.
So James Wood is a Scott Boras client, so it's going to be really hard to extend him.
Yeah.
I would love to extend him, but maybe not. I will say CJ Abrams, a guy who everybody thought we were going to trade, is playing so well that he might be an extension candidate. It's possible. I mean, he has been outrageous this season. He is a 928 OPS. He's looked good defensively for the most part. He's made some mistakes here and there. Probably not a long-term shortstop, but his bat is so good. You want him on the team. Maybe we trade him. Maybe we extend him. Either is possible at this point.
Well, I mean, if you keep him around, I mean, if you find the right defensive players that DH spot becomes extremely valuable. Where if
Yeah.
CJ Abrams is lacking a little bit defensively, you can put him there for 2 games a series and put him at second base or something like that, or let him play short for 1 game a series. It's one of those things where you have to find the right players that you trust.
He could be a third baseman too, I think. I don't know what his arm strength is like, but yes, his defensive metrics have been pretty bad, at least in prior seasons. I don't know where he's at this year. But he does not look so far off a shortstop that he's the type of guy that you want to be like, okay, can we mostly DH him? Like, I think you can have him in your infield. But yeah, it's shortstop might just be a little bit beyond what he can handle.
I mean, he's below average right now. Career. He's between. Let's see. He's had fielding percentages between 960 and 992. So you're hoping he's around that 992. But
You can see what Fangraphs has to say in terms of the advanced stats. Yeah, I mean, his outs above average are low, lower than we want them to be. It was quite bad in 2024. It's improving, but it's still not where it needs to be.
Yeah, he's at 960 this season, with the average being around 972 for shortstops. So
yeah, -6 defensive runs saved. Not good.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe if you move him to third base, he becomes better. Don't have to have as much range to be
I mean,
there.
the thing is, Nasim Nunez, yes, he has a 494 OPS. That's really
he steals
bad.
bases. I mean, he's the only one stealing bases on the team, too.
He's leading the league in stolen bases. He is such a threat on the base path, and he has 22 walks in 152 at-bats, 181 plate appearances. He's a small guy. He's got a small frame. He's, I think, 5'8", and if he can use that to walk more, his glove is really good, and he could be our long-term shortstop. His glove is good enough to be a shortstop for sure. But 494 isn't going to cut it. It needs to be at least in the 500s, hopefully the upper half of the 500s, where you can grit your teeth and say, okay, that's our number 9 batter. Maybe he'll get a walk and steal a base.
But if he's able to get a walk and steal a base with the lineup turned over, that helps.
Yeah, 100%. You see the potential there with Nasim Nunez. I mean, he's just got to hit a little bit better.
So it's all right. Hey, just put him on the Altuve side. Put him same as Altuve on the ADS scale. It'll all be good.
That's the comp, though. That's the comp. I mean, he's such a small guy by baseball player. I mean, it's funny. I say small guy by baseball player standards. Like these guys are giants, right? And then you've got Nasim Nunez, the normal sized guy, and yeah, like by baseball player standards, he's like a little guy.
It's all right. Hey, everybody else took off 2 inches. So hey, just take off 2 inches. That's all it is.
Yeah, say he's 5'4".
Yeah,
he's 5'1".
All right. All right, man. Good chatting with you.
You too.
Hopefully next time we talk, the Nats will be up in the standings a little bit, and that wild card race will be looking pretty good.
It's not out of the question. I think that Nats Nation, for the most part, we're not trying to get ahead of our skis, but the team is playing solid baseball, and the offense is playing good baseball. So if the weaknesses can be addressed a little bit, if the pitching can get a little bit better, if the defense can get a little bit better, if we can get a little bit more star power from some of our lineup, who knows?
Are you a small business owner bogged down by the numbers? Struggling with just good enough books? The More You Know Business Services knows you deserve better and provides accurate, timely, and personalized bookkeeping and advisory services. We know that behind every transaction, there's a story, and behind every small business owner, there's a vision. Our firm brings the perfect blend of financial strategy and day-to-day detail work. So whether you're just starting out, catching up, or scaling your business for the future, we meet you where you are and help you move forward with clarity and confidence. Stop guessing and start growing. Visit themoreyouKnowBusiness.com to schedule your free consultation. The More You Know Business Services. Your vision clarified.
Brady's back joining us, talk some O's.
I'm
So,
a little bit less angry this time around.
yeah, a little bit less angry. All right, I'll give you my perspective just from being at the Memorial Day game, and then you can pinpoint from there anything you like or dislike. So, first thing first, besides just the game itself, I was actually shocked it wasn't a big crowd because I usually think the Maryland flag jerseys those usually sell out, and this is the first one in like 6 years. So I was actually shocked it didn't sell out. They're usually a big thing.
Yeah.
So just that visual to me just gives you kind of a state of what the fans are feeling in the organization. Like,
I mean, I do.
'cause-
I think their weather played a factor in that as well. Like, it was
Yeah,
not a good
it wasn't
weather.
terrible. It didn't
No,
rain.
the actual Memorial Day was fine, but I think also
Yeah.
like when you're planning your Memorial Day activities and you think, oh, the weather forecast for this whole weekend is shit,
Mm.
then it's like I'm just not going to do anything, So
Well, I was at the game with my cousin, and his brother was in Ocean City, and apparently Ocean City was bumping, even with the
Right.
rain. So I don't know. But and then another thing too, I just have to get this out there because I think we can both agree we've been obnoxious drunks at a time or two in our past. We know the difference between being a fun drunk and an obnoxious drunk. I think we know that difference. I was up in the 300 section with a ton of families. It was good vibes. Do not be the obnoxious drunk that drops an F-bomb every pitch. Things like that around the families.
yeah,
I think there's places in the stadium you can be. Like, so this dude kind of wandered up in the fifth inning, and you could tell he was gone. He could not say a 4-word sentence and pronounce the words. And I mean, he could barely stand up straight. He was walking, slouching and everything. I think we can agree there's places in the stadiums you can be an obnoxious drunk. The center field bar is where all the adults are. You can be obnoxious up there.
There is a certain type of fan who I think the upper level deck appeals to because you go and you get your cheapest ticket possible, and then you have all the money in the world for booze, right? And I like every time I sit up in the 300s, which I actually like the 300s. I like that bird's eye view, especially when you sit lower in. But I swear, like every time there's somebody in my vicinity, and I'm like, 1 through 9 in the innings, I'm just like, will this guy ever just shut up? My God, like,
Well,
it's always one.
Yeah, like to me, if you want to be like that, if you want to put all your money in the booze and you want a cheap sheet, go to the back row, like up at the very top of the stadium. I think the families usually tend to sit in the lower 300s on the porch of it, and then usually the people that are just there for a cheap ticket go up top. But I think there's places in the stadium where you can also get a cheap ticket, like the center field bleachers. Usually there's a ton of drunk, obnoxious people there. Like that's definitely a place you can buy a ticket if you want to be like that in the game. But that's just my pet peeve out of the fan situation. But yeah, you got any thoughts about the drunk, obnoxious people?
I completely agree with your what you're saying. Like I'm definitely, especially like when we would go to games in college, and obviously when we went to games in college, like we were those guys who would buy like the top, the nosebleed seats,
Yeah.
right? Because one, we were getting like 10 or 15 of them because we were getting a group together, and two, we're broke college students. So yeah. And like definitely also like I think like when you go to like a night game as well, there is more of that environment from people, especially when you're going on a weekend.
Mhm.
So there, but like, yeah, it is like, baseball, this is like a family event, right? And I just think like you got to be mindful. That's all I'm like, you got to be mindful of who's around you and like respect, respect the fans around you, not just like because there's kids, but also like, people don't want to listen to you spout, bullshit all game.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've had so many times where like the person behind me or in front of me or to the left, like just distracts you from the game, like all like whether they're drunk and obnoxious or they're just like talking loudly or like it doesn't matter what it is, but it's like there's just so many people who like go to a stadium that's packed with 20,000 people and then you're sitting there and it's like you're oblivious to everybody around you. Like you think that this is like you bought these tickets and now the show's about you. Like
Mhm. Yeah. Like, I don't know. There's just a time and a place for a lot of it because, I mean, I know when we went to games together, we've never been that gone. Like,
oh yeah. I
we've,
mean,
like,
for one, like I'm never gonna get that going at Camden Yards when
yeah.
it's $15 for a beer, like
Yeah.
you know. But yeah,
Well,
like
I mean, like when I went to the Twins Stadium a few years ago, I didn't even know this was happening because I just bought a ticket because I was heading that way. It was dollar hot dog night and $5 beer night. Now, did I have a good time? Absolutely. But did I get to the point where I'm like sitting in my chair about to fall out, just
yeah,
screaming? No, not even close to that. Like I had a good time. I mean, I was like $5 beers. You're never gonna find that unless it's a minor league stadium, really. So
yeah,
it's like that was a good deal. And dollar hot dogs, what a steal! Like, yeah, no, but okay. Other than that, the game itself, I mean, awesome walk off. Colton Cowser, kudos to him. He's starting to click. It's
yeah.
awesome to see.
He's putting it together.
Um, now, I mean, the one thing that you've been saying this whole time, and that I am totally on board with, is we just need a consistent lineup. Like, there's just O'Neill, like Basayo was on the bench. He came in for one at bat, and like
Hmm.
Albie's just. I know, like it was the seventh inning when he came up, but or the sixth inning, but it's just it feels like we waste these guys on the bench, like
Yeah.
because Basayo came in to bat for oh crap, who was playing? Blaze Alexander, I think, is who he
Uh,
came in to bat
no,
for.
because Blaze was
Oh,
in the
Blaze
game the whole time.
Blaze was at short.
It,
That's right. Holiday, because Holiday
he,
had to move to third. Weston Wilson, that's who it was. He came
Weston
in the bat
Wilson,
for
yeah,
Weston Wilson at third. Yeah, and it was just like Basayo ain't gonna play third base.
yeah.
you know,
I will say so. My qualm too, also with that, and like I agree with what you're saying, but I also understand like sometimes like okay, you've got two men on. This is an opportunity for you to take the
yeah,
lead again in the seventh inning. So you put your best bet in. Like I completely agree with that. But like then not having Basayo available for the rest of the game, that's kind of what that does irk me a little bit. And then
mhm,
also the other thing for me too is they play Holiday at third, and like okay, he's had reps at third before. He had reps at third during his rehab assignment and whatnot. But Blaze Alexander can literally play fucking anywhere other than the
yeah,
bump and probably catcher, right? Like he can play
yeah,
like 7 out of 9 positions. So put him at third. We know he's a good third
mhm,
baseman. And put Holiday at short. He's had way more reps at shortstop. He's way more comfortable at shortstop. You know?
yeah,
Why are we putting Holiday at third instead of Blaze Alexander? Like I know I would
mhm,
probably say Blaze Alexander is the better glove, but I would
yes,
a more experienced Holiday at short, and Blaze Alexander, I trust him anywhere. So it's
Well,
like,
I mean, even Jeremiah Jackson, you could have just put Jeremiah
yeah,
at third. I would trust Jeremiah Jackson at third more than Jackson Holiday. Like, there's, I don't know. I mean, I could see that Albie just plays this analytic game, and I don't know if it's coming from upstairs, from Michael Elias's people, because you've
yeah,
heard the rumors about how the Yankees operate, where the lineup literally comes from the analytics team and just it's given to Boone, and
yeah,
Boone really does not have a set. And I just feel like Albie doesn't have much of a say here because, I mean, at this point, I know you wasted a ton of money on O'Neill. You just have to eat it at this point. Like you just have
yeah.
to
I mean,
face it and just be like,
I do understand like you want to play O'Neill, especially against a left-hander, because one, you paid money for him, and two, it would be great to get O'Neill going against lefties, right? That's why you brought him here, and that just hasn't happened. But for me too, it's just also like Weston Wilson at third is, and I know he's had some good hits. He did hit a home run. He's had some clutch moments, and I'll give him his credit where it's due. But for me, it's just I hate when this guy starts because one, he's not a good third baseman. He's made some bonehead moves. Like honestly, I'd probably say Mayo has been just a little bit better defensively at third than
mhm,
Wilson, and even Mayo has made some head scratchers. But like, so he's not a good defensive option, and he's a below average bat that you
yeah,
play every single time against left-handers. And I'm like, just put your guys. Like, let's just have
yeah.
some guys,
Oh,
6 or 7 guys. Now, I will say,
mm,
I have seen that it is starting to get just a tad better. There's more, like, Basayo is playing way more than he was. And I understand you're here. He's
mhm.
still gonna not be in the
Well,
lineup. Like, Rutschman
but you're
wasn't
seeing
in
Rutschman,
today.
Rutschman,
Yeah,
and Basayo in the lineup a lot more
yeah,
together, and
yeah,
not
exactly.
one or the other.
And Richmond was out today, but I don't blame them for that because Richmond played 2 games in a doubleheader and then caught
Yeah,
15 innings or 14 innings last night, whatever it was,
yeah,
13.
13. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So,
yeah, so
but yeah,
and
it's
Weston
just
Wilson can't play the outfield either.
it's that was a stupid. That was I don't know who was like, hey, why don't we put this infielder at the hardest left field in baseball and see how that goes? That was the dumbest thing ever. Um, Yeah, but I've seen a little bit more consistency with the lineup, just a little bit. I want to see more, and I want to stop seeing these stupidly ugly lineups against left-handers. It's
Oh
like
yeah, I mean, there's
like trust your guys.
there's
Like,
yeah, like I mean, we Chris Davis played against lefties. You know,
yeah,
like I mean, could Chris Davis? I mean, Chris Davis was boom or bust towards the end, but it was just like
yeah.
he still played. Because guess
And
what? The boom was valuable.
I will say like there are like we are not the only team that does this. Like there are teams that it's straight matchup play
Yeah.
constantly. And so it is something that more and more teams are going towards. I don't like it. And I haven't heard a single baseball alumnus, you know, on a
No.
podcast say like, yeah, I like it. Like this is no.
Yeah.
Everybody
No.
agrees this is terrible for the sport.
Yeah.
Like,
Everyone does not like the old baseball heads
yeah,
said the analytics have gone too far at
yeah,
this point. Like
yeah,
analytics are valuable to a point where it's like, if I'm a pitcher, it's nice to know that, hey, this batter I'm facing hits 300 against this pitch I throw, but won something against this other pitch, right? So maybe I lean towards this other pitch because he knocks the crap out of the ball. Like, to me, analytics like that are helpful, but
yeah.
it just
But
comes to a
yeah,
point where it's like Tyler O'Neill throughout his career. It's like, take the baseball as a what have you done for me lately sport. O'Neill,
yeah.
what have you done for me lately? Nothing. Like, it's
And
not
it's
there.
like Tyler O'Neill was the writing on the wall. This is why, I mean, obviously both of us have talked about why we didn't like the O'Neill signing to begin with. But this is like the writing on the wall was there for Tyler O'Neill. He's never been a consistent at bat. He's always been on the IL at some point. Yeah, he's got some power, but like this is a guy who took 130 home run season after like 2 or 3 seasons of being injured and turned it into $75 million, which good for him. But like
But
I just
this
feel like everybody could have been like, "Yep, saw this
this was
coming."
Santander. This was a Santander
Yeah.
replacement signing after we didn't sign Santander. This was basically a Santander-esque replacement signing. Is really what it
Hey,
was.
what like kills me too is just like we have plenty. I know you want right-handed bats, but we have plenty of power in the minor leagues in the outfield. Like, ah, anyway,
We got so
we have
many outfielders. But okay,
um
positive though. You know who I actually want to see extended? Tavares. My man
yeah.
played small ball. Beautiful
Oh,
bunts.
yeah.
Yes,
I
yesterday's
love
game.
I loved what he did today with the Sio hits a nice weaver and
Mhm.
then followed immediately up with a first pitch bunt to get on first.
Like
Like that's a
this
ball. That's a ball
dude.
player, man.
Yeah, to me, like this is the game we should be playing, right? Like let's generate a run this inning. You know, lead off single, lead off double. Let's get him over in scoring position
Yeah.
and let someone else take care of it. And plus, the defense is good.
Yeah.
I would. You see, this is the guy I would prefer to be like signing as an outfielder in the big league roster than O'Neal. Like this is the type of player I want.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like Tavares is gonna be. I mean, is he on a 1 year deal?
He's on a 1 year deal. He's probably
Yeah.
gonna. I mean, honestly, if we don't figure it out by July, he's probably a trade piece. So
Well, actually, I think he's probably a trade pitch either way. Like,
yeah,
unfortunately, that's what it is. It's
but
because I
what
just
you
think
also got to
like,
think. But you also think too, is Ward gonna stay? Right, because he's only here for a year.
yeah. Well, it's not even that. It's you got Tavares, but also like Calder's proven to be a phenomenal glove. If there's anything Calder's
Yeah.
proved besides from his fucking clutch home runs of late, it's that the dude can go get a ball and he's got a fucking
Mhm.
cannon. So it's like, yeah. So right there tells me like that's a good, he's a good. I would prefer him in left field over center field, but that's a good
Yeah.
option. And so like, especially when you have Beavers coming back, and you've got all these, and you've got some guys, and you've got
So
Enrique kind of waiting in the wings.
yeah,
I know he's injured right now, but he's waiting in the wings at AAA. I honestly
well,
think that he's a perfect trade piece, whether we're
it, yeah,
selling or buying. I think he's going to be a
but
trade piece.
I mean, I can still see a fit for him next
Yeah,
season. You know, if we go with Tavares, Bradfield, Kaiser, Beavers as the four group outfield,
yeah,
you know, you can give Kaiser some reps at DH too if you want. You can
yeah.
give Tavares reps at DH and not feel bad about it, right? So like, and then because golly day, it looks like we're not going to stop playing this matchup game. At least he helps. At least he's a right-handed bat. It's I I can see a fit for him. I mean, I think after this season, you just got to cut O'Neal. I think you just got to eat it. It was a bad
We'll
signing.
see. I wouldn't be surprised when we see Beavers come back, and then also Kerstead. We'll see how Kerstead does in AAA.
Trade piece needs to, one of these guys has to be a trade piece at some
Obviously
point.
one of these guys should have been a trade piece like 2 years ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, like with these guys, I again wouldn't be surprised if I don't think it'll happen until after the All-Star game. I don't think it'll happen until some of these guys get healthier. But like,
Mhm.
you know, I just think something here's gotta give. And yeah, obviously like the bats are coming along. I've Eden
Mhm.
decide like, going back
The
to
Sios. Okay. Polar Bear Pete is on freaking fire right
yeah,
now. Pete Alonso's freaking just
yeah.
hitting everything in sight right now. That's
But
awesome
I
to
mean,
see.
we can go back even before we've got won 3 out of 4 now, which is great. Um, and I honestly think we would have swept Detroit if it wasn't for a doubleheader. I mean, winning a doubleheader is
Yeah.
hard. Um, but even going back to like some of the original Tampa Bay games,
Mhm.
that we played, like Monday we scored 6 runs. I know
Yeah. I
they
mean,
scored
Messiah.
16 runs. Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
Messiah is on
but
fire right now,
yeah,
which is awesome. Like we got some guys heating up. Tavares is hot. You know, Messiah is hot.
yeah. So like we're getting like that's what I like is like early on in this month and in April, it was like getting a hit.
Mhm.
Was it
No, it
just
was a
seemed
struggle.
it was just beyond a struggle, and he never. It just seemed that the ball was never going to fall favorably for the Orioles when they did make
Yeah,
contact. But now in the latter half of this month, it's even if we lose the game, which is like probably because our pitching gave up a dozen runs, but even when we do that, it's like you look at the box and it's like, oh, the Orioles scored 4 or 5 times and they got 10 plus hits. And it's like, that's good. That means your lineup is coming along. I'm going to trust that
yeah.
lineup a little bit more. And with
So
Holiday in the lineup too, I do think
yeah.
that's another piece to the puzzle is getting Holiday back.
Well, I mean, he did pretty good tonight, but I think there needs to be a little adjustment in the lineup. I I think Henderson needs to go down to 6. He's not. He's struggling to figure it out, but I think in the 6th spot you can still get him the 4 at bats a game. But
I
it's
don't know if I would drop him as low as 6. I would drop him
he's
maybe to
he's
4
trying.
or
He's
5.
trying. Yeah.
But
Well,
also like I
5. I
honestly
mean, I
like
would do 5. He's just trying too
yeah.
much to hit the long ball. He needs to just make contact first. Just bat the ball, put the ball in play, and just build on that because he's not even making contact. It's just
Yeah. I mean, also like I don't like when we're in the middle innings and it's like 9-1 and Henderson, and then it's like strikeout pop up, and then Henderson gets on, and Henderson comes up with nobody on. It's like, yeah, I want
yeah.
this guy to come on when he can do some damage, when he can twist, when he can, with a snap of his bat,
Mhm.
turn the game around or
Yeah.
tack on or whatever. Like, so
Well,
that's what I mean. I wouldn't mind him
I,
in the middle of the lineup.
I mean, I if it was me, I would go Ward Tavares, and then you do your Rutschman, Alonso, Basayo mix, right? And then Henderson, just until he's in a groove.
Yeah,
He
I
just
mean
needs to
Ward
get in a
right
groove.
now. We need to talk about struggling. We need to talk about Ward because Ward, as of late, has been on the struggle bus.
He's been on this,
I
but
mean,
he's still walking. That's the only
not
thing.
even like go back to the last couple games. Like I think he's probably his walk numbers are definitely down. Like he definitely has
They're
a couple
down.
walks in it, but his walk
Yeah.
numbers are down. And his swinging, his when he does swing the bat, which is rare, it is like
Yeah.
terrible choice. And then
Mhm.
there was one a couple games ago, 2 or 3 games ago. It was his last at bat in the game, and I think we were down by like a couple runs. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs because it was ball down the middle that he looked and it was strike one. Like he watched the strike. Then it
Mhm.
was ball down the middle again, strike two. And then it was ball 2 feet off the plate that he watched for a ball, but the umpire called it a strike. And that was strike three. We had both of our challenges, and Ward walked back to the dugout. And I'm like, if you're not gonna fucking swing, fucking challenge the obvious fucking balls. Like
Yeah.
it's
Well, I
it's
mean, to be fair, I mean, Monday we struggled with with the challenges
oh,
until extras.
absolutely.
Extras they were better, but we did
Honestly
some
though,
horrible challenges.
yeah. Honestly though, the Orioles have not been great at the challenge. Like I think Pete Alonso is pretty good. And
Yeah.
then like Adley Rutschman for me, it's just like he's good at challenging, but he doesn't, you know?
Yeah,
It's
he
like
picks the wrong pitches the challenge. And he picks the
and
wrong
it's
spots.
yeah, it's
It's the wrong spot to
we
do
can
it.
go back to the when Shane Baz versus the Yankees the first time
Yeah.
around.
Oh yeah,
And
that
it
right
was
down the
like
middle.
everybody knew that that was a strike. Everybody in the
Mhm.
stands, everybody in the dugouts, just challenge it. Like you don't give Aaron Judge an inch because then he turns around and
Yeah.
hits a 2-run home run.
Yeah. There's
So
certain people to take the challenge on. like
yeah,
if it's a close pitch, and yeah. But yeah, he picks the weirdest spots to do it.
yeah. Like like
And
that's the other thing is that he's pretty good at it, but especially defensively, he just seems to not want to do it.
yeah. But that's where I also feel fear too is the analytics team is in his ear saying when to do it and stuff like that. And I think that's another thing. Analytics is messing with the minds of these guys. Like if you're a good baseball player and you know the strike zone, trust it, right? Like, I mean, God, like, uh, I mean, I think Adley's improved defensively as a catcher. I would trust him to know the zone, behind the plate. And it's definitely just one of those things where I know Albie's a new manager, but you just got to get into this groove of trust your gut. We have to trust the gut a little more as the coaches and as the players to actually
Yeah. Yeah,
do
and I mean,
something.
like you said, defensively, like especially defensively, Rutschman has been fucking wonderful. I mean, he's thrown his pop time is unbelievable when he like throws
Mhm.
people out. He's accurate as fuck right now. Like
Yeah,
he's doing a fantastic job with
yeah,
anything with talent. Yeah.
mm,
So
yeah. Now there was a move today which I didn't like, which was DFAing Dietrich Ends, which I mean he won the game Monday.
yeah, it's it's just I don't know. It's a strange move because okay, I guess you want another bullpen arm, but also that
Yeah.
guy that you called up, like I don't know. I think they announced it, but Gibson will be starting game 3.
Hmm.
They didn't announce it yet, but the assumption is that Gibson is starting uh game 3.
Yeah.
So
And
like
we called up Nick Rackett, who
yeah,
has a
well that's
10.13 ERA. What the
and
flip
you know he's going
flies?
right back down to AAA. Like
Yeah.
I get you probably wanted an extra bullpen arm just in case Bob
Well,
had a bad
well,
game.
well, it's because of I mean, we had the doubleheader plus the day
Yeah,
game. So, and you ran out of arms in extra innings.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you want an extra bullpen arm just in case like Shane Bosco's only gives you 4 innings. Like he's
Mhm.
done. Excuse me.
But man, like, I mean, just at the game I was at, when Nunez came in the game, I literally looked at my cousin and said, "We blew it. We were going to blow it." And guess what Nunez did? He blew it.
Yeah,
Luckily, the offense caught on late in the game and was able to come back and go to for tat for a little bit. But it's just, I mean, I don't know why Cano didn't go back out there because Cano only faced like a batter. I don't know
uh,
why we
no,
didn't.
I thought he went back up there.
No, he didn't go back out. We brought in freaking Nunez.
I'll pull it on the box score. Oh yeah, he only faced a batter.
Hmm.
Again, I think that's more of like a matchup type thing.
Screw the
But yeah,
analytics, man. Screw the analytics. He's on like if Cano's one of your top relievers. Like because if we could have got Cano out there and then bring in Garcia, I think it would have been a better. We didn't have to go 13 at that point. That
yeah,
that's just me. But I don't know. I mean, Nunez has blown. He's had 3 opportunities at a save. He doesn't get a lot of them, and he's blown them. He's blown all 3,
uh,
I think.
I don't know.
So
Doesn't he have a save? I feel like he has a save.
he might have a save. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Nunez isn't good. I don't think I would trust him in a
You
high
can't trust him
leverage
in big
situation.
spots.
Like I would trust him in like the 7th inning or the 8th inning with nobody on coming in, but I don't know if I would trust him coming in with a guy in scoring position. I mean, he's the young
Yeah.
pitcher, so I mean, I just think Nunez is really good. I just think he's a young pitcher, and this is the type of stuff like I just don't know if he's ready for. He's got 3 saves.
Well, there is a relief pitcher on the free agent market that I've been intrigued at possibly signing, and I hope we do. Michael Kopech. Now, has he struggled? Yes. But you look at when he first was after our like coming from all the injuries as a prospect and everything, and when he started playing in the bigs, I mean, he proved why he had a prospect pedigree. He's got the stuff. I would give him a chance. I mean, it doesn't hurt because we DFA'd Suarez and we just DFA'd
Yeah.
ends. So it's like, and I have a gut feeling someone's going to claim ends. Like they're thinking, oh, he's making 2-some million and someone's not going to bite on it. There's going to be a team that bites on it. Like, and if the Rays
Yeah.
bite on it, the Rays are going to turn him into a weapon. And it's just like, Michael Elias, you're an idiot at that point. But I mean, like, because to me, I'm just like, Cano and Garcia are freaking lights out for us right now. Tyler Wells is a solid option. I mean, if we can get Kopech in there and he can, maybe find it again, I'd like that. When Helsley's healthy, that's a bullpen now. Now we start having a bullpen we can trust a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I still think like once Halsey's healthy, like, I still think that'll be like we've got Wolfram who's back, and Wolfram's been doing pretty
Yeah.
well. Again, another young pitcher, another like he's gonna have the bad outings, he's gonna have the hiccups. But Wolfram, and even Kittredge. I don't know if Kittredge, some of Kittredge, I mean, he's got a 9 ERA right now, but some of his
Yeah.
outings have been just ugly. But I mean, he pitched great tonight. He got us the game tonight.
Yeah.
Kittredge is a guy that I still trust, like
Mm-hmm.
8 out of 10 times.
Yeah. Now, I mean, Aiken hasn't found it yet, so you hope Aiken can find it soon because, I mean, he's proven to be a solid mid-relief guy that can get you a couple innings if needed and be the gap filler. But man, I don't see when these guys are coming back. I don't see Nunez as a fit in that bullpen. I just
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't see it.
obviously they traded for him, so he's gonna be a part of the bullpen unless they send him back down to AAA to give him more time to develop. But Nunez is gonna be a part of this bullpen for the foreseeable future unless the wheels come
Yeah.
completely off, you know. Um, because I mean they traded for him because he's one of the pieces we got for Cedric Mullins, so
I
he's
mean,
gonna be here.
yeah. Well, he needs to figure it out somewhere else instead of the bigs right now. But
No, like I said, like here's the thing. I just think he's a young pitcher who sometimes lets the moments get too big for him, and that
Mhm.
needs to change, obviously. But like I said, like I can't discount the kid altogether because of a few bad outings. When like I've seen this kid go out in the ninth and get a save. I've seen him come out in the eighth and to get a hold, and I've seen him
Mhm.
I've seen him shut down 2 straight innings. I've also seen him shut
Yeah.
down an inning and then go out in the next inning and give up like 3 runs. But he's still a young pitcher. He's a new pitcher because he's only been doing it for a couple of years.
Mhm.
The talent's there. The pitches are there. So for me, and obviously, like the more the league sees him, the more they're going to adjust to him, and he has to make those adjustments back. But
Yeah.
again, like, do I want him to be my closer option right now? No, obviously, and I don't want to. I would put,
I don't want him in
he
the high
wouldn't
leverage
be.
situation.
Yeah,
He
he
came in
wouldn't
high
be my
leverage and he
like
blew it.
he wouldn't be my top choice for high leverage, but like I could comfortably put him in the seventh or eighth inning with a 2 or 3 run lead, and I would feel safe with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just think that you know, as fans, we tend to overreact. Like I know I've seen a lot of people say, like, why is Aiken still on the team? Like, why didn't they DFA Aiken? And it's like, well, go back to last season and tell me why they didn't DFA Aiken. Like, yeah, at one
Yeah.
point in the season, he was our best reliever. Like he's, you know, the first couple outings have not been great, but he has proven that he can, especially when he has like reverse splits against righties. And I love when we put him in there and then they pinch hit a righty for their lefty when he gets righties out more. I love when teams do that because you know.
Yeah.
But like it's just one of those things where I just think that as fans we are quick to say, "Oh, get this guy off my fucking roster," you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, well, it just hurt more when you see Brian Baker come in a Rays uniform, and Brian Baker's freaking lights out this season for the Rays, and it hurts even worse when when we traded into the Rays. We got that first round comp pick, and then we trade that first round comp pick back to the Rays. And
Yeah.
it's just like, so we basically gave away
Hey,
Baker for nothing.
no, we gave Roy Baker for Boss. We got Boss.
And
Boss was great today.
okay, yeah, but I don't know. It's just, oh my gosh, like I don't know. I think there's definitely some free agents. I think we could take a look at. Kopech's definitely one of them. I just want to see. I don't think it hurts to sign and give a chance and see how it goes. But I will say this: Brandon Young is turning out to be a very solid piece of the rotation, and I
Yeah.
think he's found his place in the rotation. I don't see him leaving it.
I
So,
believe I said in the very first episode of this
mhm.
podcast that Brandon Young was gonna surprise some people this year. I believe that is a quote. Go check the tapes. Um, no, but yeah, Brandon Young's been great. I would like to see Povich get back up here eventually. Well, I
Mhm.
wouldn't like to see him get back. I don't want to see him get back up here with an injury. But like, I don't
Yeah.
want to see like someone go down with an injury. But I would like, Povich was looking great. I remember he had that really bad start. I forget against who, but he had a really bad start against somebody, and we set him back down.
Yeah.
Um, and then now
And
we got Trey Gibson, who has looked good. Trey
mhm.
Gibson, very solid early on. Has been very solid early on. So
Yeah, and
I'm
I
excited.
mean, it looks like I think Bradish is figuring it out.
Bradish
But
has looked. Bradish has looked
the
like Bradish the last four starts, 3 or 4 starts.
but the big thing is he. I don't know if it's our analytics team, our manager. He's not going deep into games that you would like to see. I would like to see
Well,
Bradish go into the seventh.
I also think that we're not going to see that at least this season because they did
Yeah,
say at the beginning of the season that Bradish was on an inning count, right? Because they don't want to burn him out.
yeah,
So I
but
don't know if that's gonna like he's
yeah,
definitely like I feel like once he gets through 6 solid innings, they're taking him out. Even if he has 70
mhm,
pitches or 80 pitches, like they're not gonna
yeah,
push him too hard unless they need to. If it's a 1 run game in the 6th inning and he's been lights out, then maybe you go out and ask him to get, an out or two in the
mhm,
seventh. But
yeah,
they're not I don't think they're gonna want to risk, using him in these like, later inning games or sending him back out like they did Boz,
mhm,
tonight. They sent Boz out even though he was pushing 100 pitches. They sent him out for the
yeah.
seventh inning. So I don't think we're going to see that with Bradish because I think we want Bradish to pitch in September and hopefully, knock on wood, October.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, I don't know. It was it. It's just tough to tell with this team on
It is. That's
where
what
we where we
for
can be.
me. That is it's so because like they have looked good. I think this last week
I
they
mean,
have looked good
they
overall.
they have proven
Um,
they can look good. I mean, here's the thing: Tampa Bay's just, even though we won these past two against Tampa Bay, they're still on fire. Like
yeah.
34-18, like they're hitting on all cylinders. We won the series against Tampa Bay. That's a awesome series win. But I mean, Tampa Bay's still freaking 6-4 in their last 10.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
you look at the
mean,
big difference here. They're at a plus 33 run differential. We're at a negative 50. So we know what the problem is. But a lot of the time, we weren't scoring those runs in the beginning of the season. We're starting to score them now. So hopefully we close that gap. But if you look at the wild card, I mean, we are a game and a half back. But when you look at the teams ahead of us, Toronto is only at a -5. Seattle is at plus 13. Minnesota's a plus 2. And the White Sox are a -15. You know, they're still, that just says that they're scoring
yeah.
runs even though they're giving up runs, or they're in a
I
lot of
mean,
close games.
if the bats can continue to hit like they've been hitting, and I know
Mhm.
Gunnar has shown some flashes. Obviously, he's had several games recently where he's had 4 3-hit games, which is good, and I think Gunnar's coming along. Um, but you know, if we can continue to hit like we're hitting, and then we've got starters like Boz and Bradish and Young who are putting it together.
Mhm.
Rogers to me is still a big question. I don't know what's going on with him. Hopefully he can figure it out. He seemed to look better this last outing until it all went to pieces in the 5th inning. So we'll see there. And
Yeah.
then Bassett, Bassett might he might end up as our long man in the bullpen. If he's not. But it's Bassett, it's weird because like some days he goes out and it's like, damn, this guy lights out. And then like he'll the next 2 or 3 outings and he's like giving up
Mhm.
hit after hit. Um, but honestly, I just think there's a lot of things that look good right now and things are getting put together. I will say though, the last time we spoke, we said that we wanted to see them go 8-4 on their home stretch
Mhm.
starting in Miami, and they went 6-6. You know, um,
Pretty close. Pretty close to
so
what you were hoping
they
for.
were.
You
It's funny
were
because
you,
they
you,
were they
you
were
said eight
just
four four and 8.
yeah. I was like, if they go 4-8, we might have to call this a season. If they go 8-4, then things might be getting better. And it just seems like at the end of that stretch, they stayed the status quo. Um,
Yeah.
and then obviously they went and got swept in Tampa Bay, and then but since the Tampa Bay sweeping, we beat Detroit as we should. I honestly think we would have swept them if it wasn't for the rain out and then the
Mhm.
doubleheader because I think it's hard to win 2 games in a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Um, but then now we won 2 games against Tampa. We won this series. Toronto is a very winnable series. At the very least, we should split that series. At the very
Mhm.
least. But that's a very Toronto, they're in the same boat as we are. They're 25-29. We're 25-30.
Yeah.
So they're a very
But
gettable team.
but Toronto always blast our pitching. So we'll see how the pitching
We'll see.
does, because yeah, I mean that, because that Toronto lineup just seems like they just get amped up and just want
Well,
to hit homers like crazy when they face
just
us.
just remember they don't Bobichet is not there anymore. I think
Yeah.
is oh fuck, what's his name? The first baseman.
Vladdy?
Vladdy, fuck. Is
Mm,
Vladdy injured
let's see. I don't think so. We'll check.
for hours? Guerrero is out of the lineup
Eh,
Tuesday for elbow contusion. So
oh, I mean
he's probably
he's
yeah.
still
I
on the
mean, so he'll be
roster.
in the lineup. But yeah, like just remember they didn't go out and replace Bobichet.
Yeah,
Uh,
but we still have to go against Springer, Varsho, Vladdy.
yeah, I
Clemet's a
yeah,
pretty
I have
decent
faith.
hitter. Yeah.
But no, I still believe that this is a very we should. I think we should take 3 out of 4 at the very least. I think we need to split the series, and then we go to
Mhm.
Boston, and
We
I
should we
we
should win
should
that
win.
series in Boston,
Obviously,
but
we should have won the first series in Boston, but we were struggling. We were still not putting anything together. So we can continue this run of putting hits, putting bat on balls and balls in play.
mhm,
Then obviously Toronto's a winnable series, Boston's a winnable series, then we're back in Toronto, and I think we should win that series. And then we come back for
yeah,
another homestand. So to me, if we take, you know, we won the series against Toronto today. If we take, 3 against Toronto, or not Toronto, we won the series against Tampa Bay today. If we take 3 against Toronto in this next week, 2 against Boston, and then 2 against Toronto, I think that'll be a good run. And I think at the end of that, we could be looking at a wild card spot. We could be looking at being in the wild card
Well,
spot.
the wild card's there because the
Yeah.
American League has been struggling, and like all those wild card teams are middling at 500.
I will say
So
the next 4 people we play, I believe, are all right there ahead of us in the wild card. So
yeah.
obviously it is still early to be talking about wild card too. Like
Well,
these
I
things are
mean,
gonna fluctuate. But yeah, we are,
Graylin said it the best. You can't win a pennant this early in the season, but you can definitely lose it.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we're going to play Toronto, we're gonna play Seattle. Boston's actually below us in the wild card. But
Yeah.
Boston is a division rival, so fuck them. I want to beat them anyway.
Yeah. Oh, so one thing here, totally forgot about this. So I've actually been reaching out to former players to see if they would join us on the podcast. Rick Dempsey is a little too busy, but I did get a nice note asking him what his thoughts on the Orioles. So, according to Rick Dempsey, he says the hitting right now is pretty okay. He said the biggest things that they need to focus on right now are just consistent pitching. Just getting 5 out of 6 innings from the starters, bullpen not blowing it. He said that's a big thing. He also said the biggest issue though is the defense. He said we got some bad outfield defense right now, and the infield defense is just too all over the place because people are just playing anywhere besides Henderson and Pete Alonso. It seems like because we're switching out too many people. And he said, I mean, he's got the same points that you've been making. There needs to just be some consistency within who's playing where, and just reps to help with the defense. But it's also simple baseball, right? Like if we're up by 3 runs, right, and you saw this with Jackson Holiday on Monday. That slow roller hit the third base where he was thinking about throwing the second, right, and then decided to go to first, and the guy was safe at first, right? He just couldn't make up his mind on what to do. It's just understanding the situation of the game, right? Like, it's just what's the situation, right? There was 1 out. Why not just get the second out, right? Just get a guaranteed out. Live to fight another day for that 3rd out. But it's just things like that. But he also said health is another key factor because we struggle to stay healthy.
Yeah.
Especially in the rotation. So he said that's one of the other big things. So that was Rick Dempsey's take.
Nice. Well, shout out Rick Dempsey. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I obviously fully agree with Orioles legend Rick Dempsey. Shocker. No, yeah. It's definitely like the defense. Obviously, another point of why Kowser should, at minimum, be at right field every day. I still think he should be in left and Ward should be in right, but that's a a bridge for another day.
Well, I mean, Tavares and Kowser, I don't care who's in left and center. Just put those guys in the big gap
Yeah,
and have Ward
absolutely.
take care of the short parts. Like it's not hard.
That's that to me is just like the biggest beyond that Kowser, and despite his struggles, Kowser we've seen over the last 2 days can change can change the game with one swing. Aside from that, Kowser's defense has been excellent. And I like he is like you see Ward, and I know he's not the strongest defensive player, so this is probably why he doesn't go out and do these plays like Kowser does. But like you see Kowser runs in like a bat out of hell to get to these balls. and dives and like makes these great plays. And it's like, that's who I want in. That's who I
Oh,
want my defensive to
well,
be
here's the
on a.
thing. If the power stays with Cowser, I think this is the dude we all said we can respect. Hit 220, hit 20 plus homers, and play that defense. There's a place for you in this lineup,
Yeah,
like every day.
yeah. I mean, don't forget that like Santander in his last 3 seasons with the Orioles,
Mhm.
he averaged about 230 batting average and averaged about 25 to 30 home runs
Yeah,
every season, and that got him $100,000
yeah.
contract.
Well, I mean, and
Uh,
no one, none, we never complained about Santander.
yeah,
This
never
is what we were
complain
gonna get.
because I'll tell you,
And
despite that 330 to about 330, despite that 230 batting average, Santander sure seemed to come through a hell of a lot
mhm.
more, than he didn't come through. I always remember that game against New York a couple of years ago when it was like I think it was nothing in the ninth, and it was Garrett Cole had pitched brilliantly, and then the Orioles starter and bullpen had like put up zeros as well, and then it was in the ninth inning, and then like Santander just gulped a
Yeah.
ball into Utah Street, and it was like
Mhm.
Santander left, ball
Mhm.
game. Like so,
Yeah.
absolutely. Like if Cowser can be that like number 5, number 6 hitter in the lineup, and he's batting 230, but he's going to give me 25 plus home runs a year, I'll take that. And Cowser's a better
Mhm.
defensive player, and he can steal bases, so I'll take that any
Yeah.
day of the week. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and the other thing too is just like I mean, this goes along with like the defense, but like just fundamental baseball. Getting from first to third and not getting picked off on the bases. Like
Oh,
let's
dude, we were horrible. Gunnar
yeah.
Henderson is not. He's
It's
not in the right mindset.
and like
You know?
here's the thing. I understand they're trying to be aggressive. They're trying to, especially when runs have been an, up until late runs have been like
Mhm.
a big commodity for this team that's been
Yeah.
hard to come by. I understand that when you're on the bases, you want to be more aggressive. You want to take away the double play. You want to get into scoring position. But yeah, we just have to play fundamental baseball. It's
Yeah. But
it's not you know
I mean,
there's
the
stealing a
the
base
game
is
on
an art
Monday,
form. Yeah,
the game on Monday, it was just we got picked off at second base like 3 times.
yeah,
But here's the thing, Tavares got out of it because I mean I knew he was going to steal because that pitcher was slow to the plate. Because I mean the stretch he would just lift his leg forever to go home. So I mean there was plenty of time to do it. Tavares just kept getting more and more and more, and the shortstop's just looking at the pitcher like, "Why aren't you throwing the ball to me?" And you could tell why, because the pitcher did not want to pick off because he made a terrible throw. It was like how John
yeah,
Lester didn't pick off the first base because he made that one bad throw, and then he never wanted to do it again
yeah,
after that. So, I mean, Tavares stretched it, and he got lucky. It was a bad throw in the center field, and he was able to take third, and he scored off that. But it's just, I mean, Henderson looked lost when he was getting those big leads because he got picked off at first and he got picked off at second. And
yeah.
it
And
was
he's just
just
getting caught sleeping. You get caught leaning, getting caught sleeping. Like Henderson, you stole 30 bags last year. Like you know how to steal bases. You know how to take leads, and like
yeah,
honestly, like I know speed obviously helps, but to me, it's more about just timing the pitcher. You time the
yeah,
pitcher, you get the jump. Like you don't have to be the fastest guy, on the field to steal a base. I mean, uh, what's his name? Juan Soto stole like 20 bases last year
oh
for the
yeah,
net, and he's not a fast guy. Like, I mean, he's
yeah.
not
I
slow,
mean,
but he's not fast. Like, he's not a
yeah.
base stealer. Like,
Well, I mean, with the pitch clock now, it makes it a lot easier because you can just sit
yeah.
there and you see the pitchers waiting until 3, 2, 1 around
And you
there.
know the pitcher, especially when he throws over twice, he's not going to throw over a third time unless he's got you.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, who's really good at this, obviously, was Cedric Mullins was so good about getting the pitcher to throw over twice and then taking that little extra
Hmm.
step and juking
Yeah,
in. And then next thing you know, the pitcher like tweaks a little bit, and then Cedric's pointing at the pitcher like, "That's a step off. That's a step off." Like he did
Yep.
that 2 or 3 times for us. I'm like, I remember he scored once doing it.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just like fundamental baseball all around needs to
Yeah.
be a priority. It needs to be, you know, what's the old Weaver saying? Baseball fundamentals and 3-run homers.
Oh, 3-run home runs. Yeah, that's how you win ball games. There. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's and again like the analytics. We can go back and forth all day on analytics. Analytics at the end of the day is just like everything else on the field. It's a tool
Yeah.
that is available to you. You know, hey,
It's not
I
the
don't,
end all be all, but that's what it
yeah,
feels like. It feels like the end all be all right now, and it's not.
this guy's has he's given up 350 batting average against his fastball to lefties. Okay, lefties sit on his fastball. Like
Yeah.
it's not,
But
but you got to make the adjustments, and it's just a tool.
yeah. Well, it's just I mean, just looking at these lineups that come out, it's just like
Yeah.
have you
I
like
like
are we watching the same game, it feels like,
the
when I see some of these lineups come
yeah.
out.
Also, I'm really, really afraid that they're gonna announce that Mayo's gonna go on the IL tomorrow. I feel it coming.
Yeah.
He's missed 3 games, I think, and it's like
Mhm.
he was a late scratch from the doubleheader, and then he was out of the lineup yesterday and out of the lineup today. So that's 4 games. And they're just
Yeah.
saying it's a back tightness, but I'm like, oh my god, like where would really like to see
Yeah.
him back. But yeah, it seems like as of the last couple weeks, the lineups against righties have been more consistent. We've seen the guys we want to be playing get there at bats. But then whenever there's a lefty and we don't do too well against lefties, all of a sudden the lineup looks like it's a double A team. Like
Yeah.
it's like Ward, Henderson, Alonso, and then the rest is like a double A team. Like
Yeah. Yeah. There's just a lot that I don't know. Like
but I do
because
overall, I
I
do
don't know what the
think
deadline's going to
yeah,
look like at this point
yeah,
because we need stuff. Like I think it's proven we need stuff,
yeah.
but it's also I don't know if we're going to trade anything.
I mean, obviously, I think step one is just get back to 500, right? We're 5 games
Yeah.
under. Let's just get back to 500. Step two for me is let's have a really good June. Let's have an above 500 June, and
Mhm.
let's just play our game of baseball. I, it's still early, obviously. Like at this time last year, or not last year, but at this time, in 2023, I think we were more than 10 games below the Tampa Bay Rays,
Mhm.
out of first place, and then by July we had caught them and taken over.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're not.
Tampa Bay crashed that season.
Oh yeah, um, absolutely. They went 13-0, and then they went like 47 and like 9, and then they played under 500 baseball the rest of the way,
Yeah.
which is crazy. But I don't think we're necessarily out of contention for the division. It does seem like it at this point, but the wild card is obviously still open. We
Yeah.
just
Well,
need
that
to.
should be the goal. I think is get to 500 and look for the wild card and stay in that race. And then if it
I don't
comes
even.
to us, it comes
I
to
don't even
us.
think we need to consider any of that. Like, let's just get to 500, and then let's just start stacking some wins. Let's stack some wins. Let's have a
Yeah.
really good June. Let's get into the All Star break in July. Get to July, and then post All Star break, let's reevaluate. But like for
Mhm.
me right now, let's just stay fundamentally sound, or not stay fundamental. Let's get fundamentally sound. Let's keep the bats hot. Let's keep things rolling. It seems like everybody is kind of finding themselves. There's players that are finding themselves. There are players that are getting out of slumps. I think this
Mhm.
is a prime time for the Orioles to put it all together and go on a run. Like
Yeah.
this next stretch is very, very winnable baseball. And I think that we can I mean, you've seen even the numbers. I think last year in June better. But our Orioles play really good baseball historically in June. So
Mhm.
let's put it together and let's.
Well,
That's what
hold
I
on.
want to
Which
see. I
teams?
want to see it.
Which teams are you talking about, man? Because those mid 2000s teams look great in April and May, and then they crap the bed after that.
No, I'm talking recent years. I'm talking recent years. I'm talking like
God, man.
2023 and beyond.
Dude, those mid 2000s teams, man, I was like, we're gonna win. We're gonna do it.
Oh
We're
yeah,
gonna
like
win.
the mid two, like in 2005, we would be like 9 games up in the division and looked like the best team in baseball, having like a guy putting the ball in the stratosphere like every other at bat. And then by the All-Star break, we'd be in third place on our way to last. Like
Yeah,
that was like the script. And then the
yeah,
manager would get fired sometime in the middle of the season, and then it all fall apart, and we'd hire a new manager and do it all again.
yep, yeah. It's
God, how many
uh,
managers do we have from '98 till Buck Showalter? I don't even know the answer to
oh
that.
man,
It just seemed like we were getting a new manager every year at one point.
yeah. No, it was golly day, man. Buck Showalter, shout out, lifesaver for this organization.
Dude, I love listening to Buck talk on podcasts. I've seen him on several different sports podcasts. That dude is awesome. Like
Yeah.
his stories, his stories are hysterical. You know, he was like a when he was a minor league baseball player in the off season, he would ref like high school women's basketball to make money. It's awesome.
Well, dude, I mean, what Darren O'Day said, what that he worked as as a security person at a bar in the off season.
Yeah,
Like, there's definitely some odd jobs that a lot of
yeah,
these guys work.
yeah. I
Now,
mean,
I mean, yeah, that's when minor leaguers didn't get crap for
oh yeah,
anything.
like now it's like I want to say every like pick till like the fifth round gets like a nice
Well,
cushiony signing bonus.
you get a signing. Well, up to the 10th round, you get a really nice, pretty good bonus. That's in the hundreds of
Yeah,
thousands. But you also the team pays for a place for you to live. You know, because back in the day, the minor leaguers had to pay rent themselves with the
yeah.
crappy paycheck they were getting. They they actually have a livable wage now in the minors.
They're still not making like they're not
They're
making a
not
lot. They're
making much.
making
It's
I
it's
think
a
the average
it's
salary is like 30. But yeah, you're right. Like it used like
it's livable. It's
Buckshall,
livable
yeah,
for the season, like
yeah.
because you're
Buckshall
not
Walter
paying
was
rent.
saying, yeah, Buckshall Walter was saying when he was like in the minor leagues, he was making like $500 a month. Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they don't have to pay rent anymore. The team stipends the food, and so it's like like golly, and you hear Darren they talk about it, he's like, oh yeah, man, like I had to bunk with 8 guys to try to cover rent for the house, and then like when we get our one meal of the day in the clubhouse before a game, we would take all the food back home with us to make sure we had stuff to eat. Like they don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to
yeah,
fight for scraps to survive. So it's better living conditions, I would say,
yeah.
than it
Not to
was back
mention,
in
I
the
mean,
day.
especially like one thing I think Mike Elias has done well, um, and the Orioles in general is just the facilities available to our minor leagues are top
Well,
tier.
we finally got a Dominican presence. So
Yeah, and I haven't obviously toured the place in person, but I've seen videos of like that
yeah,
facility, and it's crazy. Like
I mean, it's a spring
what
training
they're
facility, is what it
yeah.
looks like.
And speaking of spring training, the new facility in Sarasota that they just built is another like
Yeah,
top tier.
but isn't that shared with the Pirates though? Still, I think,
I don't think so. I think we have our own. Um,
or we share the
the
stadium
Pirates,
with the Pirates.
the Pirates are the closest team to us in
We
Sarasota.
we share the stadium with the Pirates. I
I
think.
don't think so. I
You
think they're
sure?
just the closest team. They're just the closest team. That's why we always play them in spring trainings because they're the closest team.
Let's see. Hold up here. All right, they don't share a facility. I know they used to share the stadium, I think.
I wouldn't be surprised if back in the day that they just
Yeah.
like
Okay.
both clubs.
Back in the day, they shared the stadium. Is what it
Yeah.
was.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that was more standard practice back then, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, the Orioles also used to go, if I'm not mistaken, they used to go to Arizona for spring training, way back in the day. Because I feel like I remember Cal Ripken Sr. talking about it being out in spring training in Arizona when he first started coaching.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, okay, so we used to share the Twin Lakes with the Pirates. Yeah. Okay. I know we did something with the Pirates because I remember looking at the schedule because you would see the Pirates play at the facility when the Orioles were away and vice versa.
Yeah. But yeah, I know we play. I know the reason we play them all the time in spring training is because their
No, it's because
facility is like
yeah, they're
a
they're
mile down the
literally
road.
30 minutes away. Yeah, it's not a
Yeah,
bad
so
drive
it's
at all.
like, yeah, it's it's just convenient. But
Yeah. No. Well, man, good chatting with you.
yeah, man, it's fun. I think you might be a little bit still more negative, but I think the Orioles are in a better place now. And unless the wheels come off again, which Jesus Christ has happened so many times this season, we're I think could be a really nice stretch for the Orioles.
All right, that is going to wrap up episode 6 of the Mid-Atlantic Bad Takes podcast. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages for a chance to win an autographed card of Hall of Fame pitcher Jim Palmer. And remember, Cito still sucks.